I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Finally. I always say dreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Higher to a bird. You, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free.
Don't know what happened. Welcome to Saturday Night Bottom, aggressive news show. And let's be yesterday. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn, along with Tracy Carson of Tracy Carson Media. And at one time I had Theus Robinson, but
Yeah, he says something's wrong with his internet.
oh, it happens. Well, anyway, thank you for all coming in today. The numbers are climbing. I really appreciate that. So that's one bit of good news. The subscribers numbers are going up. So for those who had anything to do with that, I truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Do not forget to hit that like button. I really think that is helping a lot, because I really think the more that button is pushed, YouTube is pushing my videos out to people who are not subscribed. So it gets more eyes on more people to watch. I am blinking out, in and out, and it's really irritating. Do you see that on your end, Tracy? Oh, okay. Then I'll just be irritating myself. So please do not forget to hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. If you are new here and you like content like this, or you would like it by the end of the show, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. I would truly, truly appreciate it. And as always,
oh boy,
2 weeks. It is now officially 2 weeks until my birthday bash show, which Tracy, I explained this to my wife, so I have to explain it to you and everybody that's watching. You're going to see, at the very least, a bunch of pop-up videos from me. At the very least, you're going to see 4 of them. Why are you going to see 4 of them? Because I am purposely trying to make that show the 100th show. And I am 8 away, or something to that fact. So I'm going to have to do a couple of pop-in shows. Why do it seem like, there we go, seem like I was sitting on the floor. So I'm going to do a bunch of pop-up shows. It's not going to be boring. I'll have some type of subject. I'm not just going to come on and go, hey, everybody, how y'all doing? We'll talk to y'all later. Bye. I'll have a subject to talk about. And believe me, the way things are going lately, Texas, Florida, those little situations, yeah, I'll have some subjects to talk about. So, Tracy, what's going on with you?
It's been a long day.
It has.
Long day. People don't know the struggle we see. But I wouldn't trade it for anything.
No, it was fun.
It was fun.
I will give it to you.
Even
Everybody,
though
there's going to be
bacon wasn't it's a side food, which it is not. But we're gonna.
You got this? Yes, we did, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
Hello, Mickey. Well, I don't know where everybody else is.
Yep, I'm trying to see if Steve is trying to get contact with me. Let's see.
But he didn't read the assignment anyway, so he'll jump in when he gets in. So without further ado, let's get this party started. So Susan, our good friend Susan, sent me an article, something I never even knew existed, something that literally that I didn't know it existed. It is called the Law of Yanty. And the Law of Yanty is not laws. It's a group of the way you would live your life in Sweden, Denmark, Norway, things like that. It is a group of beliefs that if you follow these laws, that you will live a happier life, that everybody in your surroundings will live a happier life. Susan being Susan, automatically don't call that BS. Mickey didn't say you got this.
It sure said, Mickey. It definitely said Mickey.
Oh boy. Give me a few seconds here. Looks like I'm gonna have to monitor. Mickey, did you send a happy face? Or something that's waving at you, hello, or something like that? Is that something that you did send? No, I didn't. I didn't. That wasn't me. Could there be someone else with that same name? I doubt it.
No, it's somebody trying to beat you.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Yes, the wave. Okay, I got it. Unfortunately, for some reason, it will not show. It didn't show it. It showed it as you got this. But on YouTube, if you go to YouTube and look at it, it shows a little yellow person that's waving. So it was you. Everything fine.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking to myself, woo, somebody is really good because they can not only could they get somebody, they can go in and be that person and everything else. That was pretty quick. But anyway, that controversy is over. So we're going to get into the laws of Yanty. And what I wanted to do on this show was we're going to do 5 of the laws today, and we're going to do 5 of the laws tomorrow. And what I want to do is this is what my practice of is going to be. We're going to break it down is it feasible for the United States to do it? And would it be right for the United States to do it? Would it change some things that's going on that's right or wrong in the United States? So could the United States do it? And if they could do it, should they do it? Would it change anything? So let's just go back a little bit because we're just going to show you the definition of the law of Yanty and the origin of it and all 10 of the laws.
Well, Law of Yanta. Law of Yanta? What was Yanta? She took me aside to explain and lay out the cultural construct that colored how many Norwegians, and more broadly Scandinavians, operate, both in business and in life. The Law of Yanta is a social concept created by Danish/Norwegian author Axel Sandemos. Here's the handsome devil right here. In his 1933 book, A Fugitive Crosses His Tracks, he first introduced it to the world, or at least at first into Scandinavia. You may be familiar with a similar concept used in other parts of the world called tall poppy syndrome. In Japan, they also say, the nail that sticks out gets hammered. In the Law of Yanta, individual success is discouraged and in many cases considered inappropriate. Instead, society encourages the good of the collective over any one individual. This has shaped Scandinavian culture over many years, and it's helped to create the peaceful, modest, and homogeneous society of today. The Law of Yanta has 10 social rules, or laws. Let's take a quick look at them now. Number 1. You're not to think you are anything special. Number 2. You're not to think you are as good as we are. Number 3. You're not to think you are smarter than we are. Number 4. You're not to imagine yourself better than we are. Number 5. You're not to think you know more than we do. Number 6. You are not to think you are more important than we are. Number 7. You're not to think you are good at anything. Number 8. You are not to laugh at us. Number 9. You're not to think anyone cares about you. And number 10, the final law, you're not to think you can teach us anything.
Okay, first things first, let's get something out of the way because I was under the impression that these were laws. So when they said you can't be smarter than us or act like all that type of thing, I thought they was talking about the government. They're not talking about the government. Us is not the government. Us is the population. So in all, you can't be, don't act like you're smarter than the whole population. Don't act like you could teach the population something. In other words, just to, in layman's terms, is to try to not make yourself bigger than everybody else. So no flashy clothes, cars, wardrobes with flashy colors or anything. Don't try to stick out from the crowd. Certain things like that. So we are going to take a look at the first law. The first one is you're not to think you are anything special. Yeah, that ain't gonna fly here. That it's for me, just for me, it's the wording of it. You're not supposed to think you're anything special. Sort of just comes off as you need to think of yourself as nobodies, and that's something that we grew up like We tell little children that you're special, so they'll grow up to feel like they're special, not pampered and spoiled and above the law and everything else. That's going above and beyond. But just the whole you're not to think that you are anything special just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Tracy?
I'm special. I don't know who put together that list. I don't know who they talking to. It's not me. I don't live in those countries, so I guess I'm not tied to this. No, it's not gonna work. Not in this country. No. Yeah, he
Oh,
can't get in.
can't get in. I'm sorry to hear that, Theus. This will be right up your alley. And I got a video for you, so that really hurts. Bite my tongue on half of them, or that's biting my tongue. You ain't got to do that. We've already done
Wait a
said that the
minute.
first one.
Mickey's biting her tongue. Yeah, okay. This gonna last 2 seconds.
Most people are special just in a different area. Yeah, we're not gonna go there. Um, it's not. That one's gonna be real easy. That's not gonna work in the United States.
Mm-mm.
That the wording of it itself just makes it seem like it's more of an insult than anything else. It comes off as an insult. It comes off it. You ain't nothing special. So I can't see that working. Cultures are not easily transferable, though. It isn't, but we're gonna give it a shot. What else we got on a Saturday night to do other than this great show? So okay, so we're gonna move on to the next one. That was real easy, cut to the point. That ain't happening in the United States. So let's move on to the second one. You are not to think you are as good as we are. Again, it's the wording. It's the wording of it. Because I can see if you said, I would take it. You're not to think that you are better than we are. I would kind of get that understanding because we have some people who get one certain type of skill in something that they excel at.
Yep.
But all of a sudden, because of that one skill that they excel at, they think they're great at every freaking thing. They could talk about politics. They can talk about religion. They can, you know those people. It mostly is sports people, or actors or things like that. They're good. They're very good at that one skill, and because they're very good at that one skill, they made a lot of money off that one skill. They become very popular off that one skill. They always got to take that one step too far and try to dip their toes into something they have absolutely no business talking about. Because they think, because I am good at this one skill, that makes me better than everybody else. So everybody just hush up and just listen to me. Because I know how to dribble a ball. I know how to shoot a hoop. I know how to hit a home run. I know how to run fast. I know how to act very well in this movie. I can cry on a drop of a dime. I can make you laugh. I can make you cry just by watching my scenes. So because I have that emotional attachment to you, that means I can talk about any and everything because I think I'm better than you. Tracy? It's
What?
the wording for me. That's all I'm saying.
Again, I hear who's the guy who wrote this, but what makes them think that the group is better than the individual? If you put me, you, CS, and a couple other people together and put us against LeBron James and we're playing basketball, that one of him is going to be better than all of us. That's just the way it is. What? Like, who did... They can miss me with these first two. Just no. It's not going to work.
If I live in a commune and I'm the only one who has a green thumb and I grow a lot of great vegetables for all, that not make me special.
Yes, it does make you
It
special.
does. It does. But you know how we try to say we don't work in absolutes. Some of these laws are making it seem like they do work in
Yeah,
absolute.
they sure do. I'm like, huh? No.
So yeah, so like I was saying with the you have a special skill. So Mickey, when you saying I have a green thumb with great vegetables for all, does that not make me special? In their rule, no. You just have a skill.
But what if she was the only person growing green vegetables,
Then
like
you
she
have
said?
a skill.
But they're saying you don't have a skill.
I, but but for them, you're still not better than me. And they could probably say the same thing.
Well,
Okay,
you
you
just because you think you have a special skill doesn't mean I think I'm better than you. Well, no, actually I do. But hey, Anna.
hey Anna, how you feeling, Anna?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Let us know how you feeling. Let me at least know that my prayers are working. Um, Thea's they're not letting you on anymore. Something's going on with his internet, so he's gonna be commenting in. I'm pretty sure he's still trying to come in because I know he's right now on the other end of that camera losing his cop picking mind because I'm sure he just want to tear these rules to bits, but maybe that's a sign from God. But he's fine. I know he's great. So right now, as I'm thinking, Tracy, these rules may not be good because of how it's worded.
Yeah, I'm
Like I
like,
said,
did he mean to say it that way, or was he trying to get you
no,
something else?
it has been like this for a minute. So yeah, it's been
And
meant to say that
I
way.
feel bad for the people who actually have to live that way. I'm like, yeah, you are special. I'm like, I don't want to go to the Jesse Jackson car, but you are somebody.
Yeah, I don't like that. You're not special thing, and I don't like that. Like I said, I would rather them saying you don't think of yourself as
Yeah, better than the group. You're not
better than the group.
better. You're equal to.
Really, you blame the girl? No, oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do a thing like that. It's not a matter of being better than all. It's being better at
One
one
thing.
thing. Yeah, you might be better at fixing cars, so that is your specialty. Each person is better than the other at whatever. And that I will agree with Nikki. And like I said, I think it's the wording that if you have a special skill, just like the first one, you're not special. If I have a special skill, like my children are special to me, they're not going to be special to the next door neighbor, but they're special to me. So I can't look at my children. I can't look at my wife and say, don't think of yourself as special. It's a lie. You are special. You're
Yeah, she
special
should be
to
done
me.
left you by now. But like, girl, leave him.
It's the word. And so to not think, just to make sure that I'm saying it right. So you're not to think you're as good as we are, and especially the word as good. So when you say you're not as good, then
Am
that
I
means
less than? What are they trying
and
to?
that's what I mean. So
What?
everybody is thinking the same thing. So there's nobody that's good, or
Yeah,
there's somebody that's
like,
good, and you should think you're not as good as they are. It's
yeah, because if you have a group and you're not as good as they are, what makes them good and then you not? That doesn't.
yeah, that's kind of throwing me. That's
Yeah, I'm like, no, not for point number two either.
I'm a sore and a little dopey, but better than yesterday. Of course, all thoughts and prayers were received, and the team that took care of me at the hospital was great. Thank you.
Great.
Appreciate it. I'm so glad that you back. I really was not even expecting you tonight. Be honest with you. At any time that you want to drop off to take care of yourself, we all understand. I'd rather have you for the long run than for one night. Just take all the time you need. Cause really, we Take all the time you need, because the most important thing that you have to understand, Anna, the Ukraine needs you. So please get well. There are like 3 things on the list, all saying be humble.
Nah, they not saying be humble, and what that guy's saying 2 totally different things.
Yeah, tell me what are the 3 things. So glad for you, Anna. Take care of yourself. Thank you. And I'm glad you're recovering well. You're all in our thoughts and prayers, Anna. And the Ukraine needs you, so please get better. Number 3 on the list. You're not to think you are smarter than we are.
Again.
That in itself does not make any sense, because if that was the case, where is your leadership? Where's your teachers? Where are your professors? Somebody got to be smarter than somebody. Because how are you going to learn anything? Now, you can get to their level after you learn what they learn, but at a certain point, you are smarter than others. It's just the way it is. When I was in elementary school, I was really hoping my teachers were smarter than me so I can learn. So,
yep. And if I wonder, were these people ever children? Because are they saying that they don't want their parents to be smarter than they are? What? See, I knew I was going to have this reaction.
Remember, this was written as satire. Act first until it was adapted into their society. But yeah, it wasn't written as satire. It was written in a book. It was written for a fictional town. Until Norway and as drawing a blank.
Switzerland, Norway,
Switzerland, Denmark, and all of them adapted it. So it's no longer satire anymore.
Yeah, that's another one's not going to work. Although it would work worse than in America, because we had a past president, not calling no names, number 45. I'm way smarter than him. I'm like, how?
The good thing is that since we can't see Thea's face, we can tease the hell out of him. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Thea's eyes are hurting right now. Because I'm pretty sure he done rolled his eyes like 50,000 times. You know, Thea's is on the other end of that camera, just losing his mind right now.
Yeah, like, I can't get in.
Oh, I got something to say about that. Waffles are terrible. All them hoes. And what's a grit? How are we to learn if that's what
exactly.
How are we going to learn if nobody is smarter than the other person? That doesn't make sense. But again, like I said, now we're talking about somebody who has a certain skill that all of a sudden makes that person think they're smarter than everybody. Then
you can always take it to the extreme, but to say,
now I'm working at absolute. So
yep, you sure are. I was like,
humility needs to be different. Else, all board. Yeah, but there's a humanity.
Oh boy, he got back up there quick. Boy, did he get? He was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna get it. I gotta get in here. I gotta get in here. I was like, there's no way he's gonna be able to stay away. There's no way he's not gonna be comfortable in the comments. No,
man, I don't know what's going on. My computer. So y'all remember yesterday, it like dropped us all of a sudden?
Yeah.
There is something weird going on with my internet, because everything in the house runs fine on the internet except my computer. So I unplugged the Ethernet, plugged that back in. Google's still looking at me like throwing me middle fingers saying, I don't know who you are. Get up out of here, scrub. And then I had to like log all the way back into my Google account. Who does that? right? So that is, whatever.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, then we're gonna get back on the subject because Susan is on now. She's the one that sent me the thing, the subject. I've been bragging. I've been picking on Tracy and Thea's.
No.
Everybody right now, everybody that's seeing me right now that is I'm on a brand new system, new computer, new screen, whatever you call it. And this is going to be dedicated. So this is dedicated for just broadcasting. My laptop is for my entertainment and my entertainment only because I am sick and tired of moving the sucker back and forth. It's irritating.
You like to watch dirty movies? That's your business. I'm just saying.
We don't have to know all your business. I'm just saying.
Having said that, the most irritating thing in the world is setting up a new computer. Because they ask you 50,000 questions that for about your system that you know doggone well you don't forgot the password to, the username, everything. It's like, oh, we need to get back into your Google account. What was your password? What the hell would I know, dude? I've had Google for like 10 years. What? Pick one. I trust you.
Yeah, that's what I just dealt with. It's bananas. It's bananas. I mean, whatever. But
bananas.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna talk about your 30-inch screen or your new blah blah blah.
I'm done.
Well, okay.
I'm done.
We just
I was really just getting to the point of
it's all right, Trace. See, Marlon,
he
didn't, he didn't move to the Jeffersons. We're still in good times. It's all right.
Yeah.
We just celebrate our brother and his come up. It's good.
So we're moving on now. Yes, but unfortunately it penetrated Scandinavia. So this was your thing about it was satire. It penetrated Scandinavian society as star Danes have a weird sense of
self-deprecating
humor, but at the same time, you will get hit over the head with it. Yeah, and I've seen several videos of people in Denmark, in Switzerland that was talking about this. And one was just really, I'm not going to say heartbreaking. It's just kind of made you roll your eye because it's like, yeah, it's real over here because I'm really outgoing and, I really speak up for myself. I have a lot of self-confidence. And you will be amazed how people will look at you weird, look at you like, how dare you act like that and do like that? And it's like, why? Because you ain't supposed to stand up for yourself, or?
But this is the thing, though, and like I was trying to hit on in the little comments, you can't take somebody else's culture and try to interpret it through your own. Like we're growing up in the American culture.
Oh, don't worry, because we're 0-3 so far.
Yeah, we 0-3. We not hitting
them. Screwed up culture that we have here. It's horrible, right? But everybody gets to live their best life. Like you can be bigger than life if you want to be. And yet we hate on each other. We're suspicious of all that stuff. All these things are being put in place to try to corral the human spirit because humanity is trash and left alone will tear each other to shreds. So they keep trying to come up with these weird things. So I read this. So, all right, first time I read this is without any context. Like I just read through the list and I was like, yo, this is how you break somebody's spirit and abuse them. Right? It's like the how-to of domestic violence. This is what
you're not special.
Abuse of marriage.
Right? But then I read it again and I was like, this is how you suppress or oppress an entire community. Read this through the lens of Black Code, slave codes, Jim Crow, right? Which shows you some of the issues that our community has, right? Then I actually read some of the actual stuff, and I'm like, oh, so this is something that really can only be infused into a homogenous community where everybody's the same. This has to go into somewhere like a Scandinavia, a North Korea, somewhere where everybody's pretty much the same. And then you're being punished if you begin to try to shine.
It has to be,
Yeah.
it literally has to be, at the very least, a huge majority of the population. This cannot be a cult. Make that perfectly clear.
You can do it in a cult. Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
do that.
No,
This is cult-like
but I'm
behavior
saying for
anyway.
a countrywide, for this to work countrywide.
Oh yeah, you got to have an authoritarian
that goes out and go, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
No, for it to work, you have to have the majority of the population believe in this.
Or you need to have the majority of the population subject to it. Because like this is what a theocracy will do to you.
This is doctrination.
This is what America wants to go towards in order to save itself. It wants to do this hyper Christian, but it's white-centric, white supremacist version of Christianity. That's what they want. That's what they're trying to get to. This is somewhat like what you get out of an Israel. It's definitely what you get out of like a North Korea.
Susan is scaring me.
Yeah.
Susan, have you been hacked, Theas?
I don't think I've been hacked because it let me reset my passwords.
I can channel my partner and show you how to find whoever did it and wipe their hard drive. God.
Y'all giving out tips, and I'm like,
I could do something that did like that reverse virus that goes back in and makes your computer catch on fire. That would be dope.
Do you know how much money that would make? To reverse engineer anybody that's hacking you, and it pings back to them and destroys their computer. And I've always had a dream of, when I say destroy, I don't mean it cuts off. No, I mean I want the smoke coming out the back of the computer. Like we see in the movies. Oh, man.
Hey, Tracy, because I want to see if my computer is just completely losing its mind. Is Marlon constantly flickering and jumping?
He was flickering. I was like, Marlon, you keep flickering. I was about to say something.
It's like a Max Headroom kind of thing.
You were fine, and then you literally...
Yeah, you'll glitch.
Well, it wasn't like when I was talking to you before about why point 1 and 2 wasn't going to work in America, you wasn't flicking. But then as soon as Theas came on, you start flicking again.
It's my fault. Yeah, you're flicking right now. Like there's like
I can see myself flickering.
Yeah, it'll flash. Like it's almost like a comment's coming and it doesn't.
Flickering. Because this is real. This is not.
Yep, it did it again.
I don't know what is going on, but I am flickering.
It's that new stuff. It's too strong, man.
That's why I have a Mac.
New stuff.
I don't have to worry about this with a Mac.
Yep. You stick to 1995 technology like me, you'd be good, man.
No,
except for when your internet
1995 technology. Stick it on a computer that just drops you twice in a weekend.
Yep, and then you be live, and then.
Yeah, you have to control a population.
Yeah,
and whether you use religion or if you use cultural norms, it's there.
Oh, you know what, Mickey? That may be it, because it is 30-something degrees here.
But we've had cold weather before.
It's 5 degrees here, Marlon. 5.
Again,
you don't live in the South.
That
Tracy.
does not make
you
me
don't live in the South.
It doesn't, but it's not going to make your computer flicker either.
Your infrastructure ain't like ours.
If somebody's trying to break into my computer, you're doing an awful job, because the only thing that's going on is I'm flickering.
Man, you try to rob me, you ain't do nothing but that's just practice.
Flickering. Maybe that's why it keeps loading and freezing, not the snow. Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, I'm like, it's 5 degrees here, and I'm not flickering at all.
Well, la-ti-da. You guys are built for that cold stuff. We freak out down here.
Y'all see a inch of snow. Oh, we gotta close everything.
We do, but we don't own any trucks. I went outside today and I opened the door, because every morning, no matter what the temperature is, I like to open the door and breathe in some fresh air just to start my day.
You all use the same internet provider? I mean, like AT&T or something?
Nope.
I use AT&T.
I use AT&T.
I'm a Spectrum girl.
Ew.
Hey, they got the cheapest plan in town.
And the worst customer service on the planet.
I ain't dealing with Spectrum ever again because them people came to my house when my wife was here. I wasn't here. My wife literally, we're selling a special offer for a Spectrum and everything else. My wife said, "Well, my husband's not here, and he takes care of that." So, okay, well, I'll leave my card. About an hour or two later, I get a phone call. Well, we just want to give you a courtesy call to welcome the Spectrum, and we just want to say hello. And I'm like, welcome to who?
They never showed up to my door.
Next thing I know, I get a big modem in the mail. Then I'm told them, I'm not with Spectrum. I don't want to be with Spectrum. I got your equipment. Where can I ship this off to? Oh, no, you're going to have to find a UPS store. You're going to have to drop it off there. Oh, so I'm going to have to work to return stuff that I didn't order.
And that's part of that culture that Comcast runs that puts their people under like supreme stress to sell stuff. You know, it's just bad, man. It's just bad how a lot of these companies are.
Spectrum never showed up to my house. Matter of fact, I called them. They have never once. AT&T shows up. I'm like, go away.
I've always been with Charter when I could be, but then AT&T came along and they have way better internet power. And all I use is like internet because I stream. I don't have cable. So it worked. It's always worked great. It's just this weekend, my computer was like, you know what, man? I don't like you too much.
Yeah, y'all get an inch of snow. It's like, we got to cancel school. I done drove to the airport out of town.
I am going to, this is really irritating me.
Just because you're willing to live in misery, Tracy, that ain't how the rest of the world going to be.
Winter is the best season there is. I don't know what you talking about.
I'm sorry. Did you just say winter is the
best season there is?
We are so moving on.
We don't have to let that one.
That's just sad. We're going to move on to the next one. Then I'm going to disappear for a second and see if I can get this glitching thing taken care of. So, number 4, you're not too.
Now we just lost your audio.
Now we can't even hear you.
You insulted the computer, and it's punishing you.
I think number 4 is you're not to think that you are better than we are.
You are not to imagine yourself better than we are.
Yeah, something like that. But
I mean, it's literally like I'm reading how to be in a cult or religious organization 101. Like,
I don't know. See, no, I'm gonna have to stop on that religious organization.
Why? I didn't say all religions.
I know you didn't, but I've heard some wickedness. I'm like, I guess I've never came into contact with these people, and I don't know them, and I just either that or I ignore them. I don't get it.
I get it, because if you know anything about the Jehovah's Witness faith, there's a lot of this in it. If you look at some of your fundamentalist Christian faiths, a lot of this in it. If you look at some of your more fundamentalist Islamic faiths, a lot of this in it. It's to help keep you from becoming too worldly. So, because if you get too close to Western consumerism and all that stuff, you start thinking more of yourself. And as you think more of yourself, you start looking down on people who aren't as smart or accomplished or whatever. And you stop seeing yourself as a part of the whole, and you seeing yourself as the whole.
Yeah.
So all of this is written to basically say, slow down, stay with us. It's scary out there. And if you go out there, you're going with the evil.
If you think for yourself, you're in trouble. Marlon, what was that comment that just came up? I thought I was reading it right, but I didn't want to interrupt this and start reading. I tell you.
Marlon, tell them you can't talk to them right now because you got your wife all tied up in the bedroom and she needs your full attention. That shuts them up real fast.
Wow.
Yes, Susan. I would have thought Mickey would have said that, but yeah, wow. Okay.
No, but I mean, and so like
it's about getting you to oppress and control yourself,
right?
And that's the point
Social
of it
control,
is
which
that
is what religion does.
these rules are set up to keep you in line. We have our leaders. The leaders are leading. You are not to, and like I said, these are not laws, but it can be pushed that way as saying we have the leaders lead, and we make the rules and regulations for your best interest. So you can't think for yourself. You don't have any reason to think for yourself. We've already taken care of that for you.
Just focus on the whole. And that's why I say, like Tracy, I know you don't like when I say religion, but I'm talking about religion. I'm not talking about faith. Because organized religion is structured in a way to control its people. That's what it does. It gives you a rule book. Here's how you behave. If you're stepping outside of these rules, then you're either, now we're going to throw the fear campaign at you. Either God's hearing what you're saying and you're going to get punished for it, or you're going to go to hell because you said it, or there's so much fear. But that's just one lane. Another lane is we can do it through laws, where you can never criticize whoever the guy is in North Korea, that Kim
Jong-un.
Yeah, that cat. You can't criticize him. You can't look him in his eye. If he comes by, you have to kneel. If we say that he farts rose petals, you're supposed to cheer, right? So then they'll use laws. This is saying, well, we're not going to use laws, and we're not going to use religion. We're going to use social custom. We're going to use social norms, so that now it self-polices because your neighbor will tell on you. Your community will shun you if you seem to be too big for your britches.
And is that not what the situation going on in Texas right now?
That's what Texas is doing.
And
That's
Florida,
what Louisiana is doing.
Florida in a sense, but Texas, which thank goodness their courts put an injunction on it. But just in case anybody don't know, the governor signed an amendment, I think it is. It's another word for it, but it's not law. It was some type of amendment that said that parents, when it comes to their transgender children and anything like that, should not and will not get their advice from doctors anymore. They are not to listen to
doctors. Are science. See, and they're the scary people. You got to only go to your religious leaders because, this is what we say God says. And I say it that way on purpose because that ain't quite what God said. But we say this is what God says. Yeah. And we're going to use our authority to do this. That's what that Don't Say Gay bill, even though there's a different name for it. But the Don't Say Gay bill is basically where if a child confides in an adult that they are gay or transgender, the adult under the rules are supposed to report that child.
And thus have child services go in and investigate the parents.
What in the world is that?
What are they going to do to the... Never mind. We got
Well, you charge the parents with
They can charge the parents.
They can take the child and put them in foster care. Yep. They can make the child go into an insane asylum like they used to do to kids in the 50s and the 60s. They can do all kinds of stuff because they've outlawed you being anything other than straight. Because anything, and see, they won't say it's religious, but I'm sorry, that's where it's coming from. They're distorting the religion. And they're distorting it and walking completely away from the love part. And they're using it instead of like a punishment tool. So, you don't fit the norm that we've decided is norm. And now we're going to punish you, your parents, and everything else. Gay and queer children have an extremely high level of depression and suicide.
Yep.
Do you think this is going to make it better?
No, you're going to see it skyrocket.
You're going to see it skyrocket.
You're going to see it skyrocket. And these morons, and I guarantee you, I'm calling you morons because I kind of see where it's going to go. These morons are going to have no idea why.
Why?
They'll
I
say it
have
was it.
no
They'll say they were touched
idea.
by the devil or an evil spirit or something like that. They don't
Maybe if
care.
they wasn't gay, they wouldn't kill them. We're going to number 5. I'm not getting
Yeah.
Well, this one speaks right to your science statement there, Marlon.
We can't even see it. Where's number?
I haven't put it up yet.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, and it's coming.
Number 5, you are not to think you know more than we do. Again, then what are your teachers?
Who are the we? See, Tracy hit on this earlier. Who are the we? Mickey pointed out in one of the comments. Who are the we? Because you have established there's a ruling
society.
order.
I remember saying it was society because at one time I thought it was the government, and I lost my ever loving mind because I'm thinking, wait a minute, all these rules are pretty much saying you're not better than us, but if you're in leadership, you have broken every rule that's written on that piece of paper.
But that's the beauty of this. Like we said, there's 3 different ways. There's religion, there's law, and then there's culture, right? This is focusing on culture. The beauty of it is we have these weird edicts that say that the entire community is one. We're one mind, one course, one purpose. Sounds familiar to some people, but we're one. And if you dare drift, then you become persona non grata. But the problem is, who picks who's drifting?
That's what I was about to
say.
say.
So at any given time, just your neighbor just might not like you. Your neighbor just might not like you. And now you've been deemed a witch. You know what I'm saying? We've seen how this goes bad. Yeah, like Susan just said. They don't have. There's this.
Yeah, who are these people?
They're them. It's them. It's us. It's we. But there's really a silent ruling group.
That is so irritating because how many times have we heard over here in the United States? Special 45 that said. I heard a lot of people say. I done heard. We need to. Who the hell is a lot of people? Who are a lot of people? Name one of them.
All the voice. Shut up, Tracy. I'm no.
It doesn't matter who the people are.
I was about to say something totally inappropriate. Nope.
You just have to accept that all the people exist.
So that's social pressure.
5 people then told him that. The people are saying no, they're not. 5 people told you that. Shut up.
And the 5 people bow down to you. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. But I'm just so sick of, there's a lot of people. Who? A lot of people. Name one.
I can't
name one. But you literally just said a lot of people. You can't name one out of the lot of people?
Marlon, I don't have to name one. Because what I'm looking at right now is you. And you are causing trouble for everyone else. You wish harm on everyone else. We're on one accord. Why aren't you? And then they'll punish you. All the while, there's like literally, this is an extreme case, but there's one person pulling the strings. There's one cult leader, right, so to speak, pulling the strings. But because he never calls himself the leader and he calls himself the servant of you, then, hey, guys, Tracy wants to harm us. Do we let Tracy harm us? Doesn't have to be multiple people. It can just be one dark, twisted mind or a group of them.
I'll take your word for it.
I have to take your word for that one.
Yeah, sometimes it depends on what you're talking about. Kind of like Cancun Cruise
says that all the flight attendants were. Yeah.
Didn't nobody hug that? I'm about to say stuff and I can't say what I wanted because I know I don't cuss.
It's like the flight crew decided, let's play Hug a Weasel. No, that didn't happen, Trish.
All
Your family
the-
won't hug you. Come on, man.
all the pallets. You don't know how many pallets were shaking my hand. Thank you so much for getting rid of the band. By the way, excuse me, the band that never existed.
Right.
But the band. Okay. All the pilots that came and shook my hand, thank you for getting rid of the band so we can fly again. Oh, really? All 370 pilots out of 37,000?
I'm just wondering where was he that multiple pilots came to him?
Yeah.
What was he in, like the...
His own daughters didn't even want them touching him. Is he wants me to believe that pilots came...
Man,
Which goes back to my point. It doesn't have to be true. It just has to be said. Trump taught them. I mean, we've all known it. Politicians have known it, but it took a certain kind of twisted mind to bring back that Stalin-esque, that Hitler-esque, that hive mind leader. So,
Mickey, you know I don't. You know I don't. Now stop.
In other words, Mickey, I'll step out for a second and I'll speak for Tracy. Mickey, I'm speaking as Tracy. Mickey, you damn well know I don't fucking curse. So stop asking me to do that shit because I'm not doing the shit. So don't ask my ass anymore to do some damn fucking cursing. I'm tired of your shit, Mickey.
Now she knows good and well I wouldn't say half of those.
Right, but if I'm interpreting a little bit, part of the question is, what is it that keeps you from doing it, and why do you feel that you shouldn't?
I wouldn't. Wait a minute. I got to read the tweet too. The white Baptist.
Yeah,
they do all the time.
That's the whole Biden. That's the whole Brandon crap.
You know what? It came from my family.
No, what she said.
Oh, I'm answering Thea's question.
The whole "Let's go, Brandon."
Yeah, it's like no.
Oh yeah, it's like when you say "Oh, sugar plum" instead of
sugar honey iced tea.
Yeah, I know what you said. So you might as well have just said it.
Marlon is Tracy's anger translate. Yeah, I'm tired of y'all bullshit.
But let Tracy speak for Tracy. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you. I can speak for myself.
Okay,
thank you very much.
I'm the angry Tracy speaker. I'm tired of your bullshit.
I'm still trying to answer Thea's question about why I don't curse.
And I eat eggs.
Now that's a lie. That is a altogether lie.
Exactly. Tracy doesn't eat eggs. She eats dessert for breakfast.
Marlon, I'm an old lady with delicate sensibilities. Watch that fucking shit. I love Mickey.
Oh, she's awesome.
Oh, God. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Y'all just pick on me. I'm just sitting here being sweet, innocent, kind, and y'all going all off on me. I see it now.
I don't know what you mean.
Okay, but Tracy,
I do apologize for speaking over you, Tracy.
Minutes. I got 2 minutes.
Y'all pick on me.
Tracy, you know, and you used to do it. I think I appreciate you don't do it anymore because I'll be honest with you, it was really irritating because
still ain't letting
and you don't do it anymore. But you know how you say stuff and then you go, and I know everybody's gonna push back on it. It's like,
oh yeah, now just say it.
Thing. Who cares if they push back on it? And you stop doing it, and I appreciate it. But Mickey, Tracy, you just say stuff that you know daggone. My favorite breakfast food, cereal.
That was number 5. That was number 5, and bacon is my favorite breakfast food. Thank you very much.
A side dish.
It is not. And
if y'all want to know what we're talking about, you're going to have to tune in to Tracy's Top 5, which this week's subject is Top 5 Breakfast Foods. You're going to understand that Tracy has no idea what she's talking about, and this is weird AF on some of his takes on a lot of this stuff.
But you agreed with a lot of them. You just didn't agree with my reason.
I don't like
food that floats.
I don't like food that floats. I don't like the holes in waffles because you got to fill every hole. I was so happy to get off that show. Good.
But you just brought it back.
But
now,
he just
Tracy, you have been trying to be
I know,
able
been
to
trying to say what
uninterrupted for 10 minutes.
Sorry, Tracy. Go ahead. You got the last word before we go to break.
Again, they just pick on me. They really do, audience.
I just came to your defense.
And I will answer your question about why I don't cuss. I feel like my members of my family cuss way too much. It makes my skin crawl. I don't like it. I just don't. I don't think it's a good choice for me. I'm like, there's so many other ways that I can say something without, well, you bleep and bleep. I don't have to do all that.
I will come to your defense on one of those things, Tracy. I really will. I joke and kid about cussing, and everybody can see that I only cuss when I'm upset and angry. But people that cuss just to cuss is like,
yeah. But I grew up around a family like that.
That was so unnecessary to put a cuss word in that sentence.
Yeah, and they just do it to the extreme. I'm like, well, I don't have to be like this. I can do something different.
Well, I don't like excess aggression, and also I still go back to when I was younger. I've been cursing since I was probably 9 years old.
Thank you, Mickey. Go ahead.
But I've been cursing since I was probably about 9 years old. But it was always, back then we didn't call it code switching, but that's what we did, But I do hold to a belief that cursing is used when the vocabulary isn't strong enough. So, like you said, there's so many other ways to make your point without cursing, which is why you don't hear me curse very often. But sometimes I do, because sometimes you just got to get to the point, and that's going to get me right there to the point. So I'm not against cursing. I'm just saying that it doesn't go in every.
And clearly, you guys have been on my channel. Obviously, I am, because I'm like,
exactly.
You're not gonna come. Yeah, you're not gonna come on my channel. Be like, and Mickey knows, because Mickey dropped a cup. I'm like, no, Mickey, I got to bleep this out. Now I got to go in here and jump in here and do all this.
Yeah. So that's your take. I was just curious as to what drew those boundaries, because for most people who are religious like yourself, people.
Oh no, they'll clean cuss you out.
Oh, well, that's different, because those people don't walk in that anyway.
Or they can church cuss you out, which is totally different.
Which is, bless your heart when.
God bless you. I'm like, oh.
That I did read about, Mickey.
So I'm not.
No, they're not. No, do not go to your streamer saying you're not educated. That ain't what that was saying.
That's not at all what I was saying.
No, I'm talking to Tracy. Tracy looked like, so what you're saying, I'm not educated, because we already had to hear this morning. So what you're saying, I'm a child? No, stop taking it to the extreme.
No, but taking your point, Mickey, I can give you a study for just about anything anyway. So everything in these studies is based on the sample size and the composition of the sample. So, yeah, people curse at all levels of education, intelligence, whatever, which are not the same thing, right? So yeah, but I'm just saying there are a preponderance of people, who just simply cannot switch outside of it.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I've seen Harlem Nights at least 255 times.
I think Susan said it best right there.
Yeah, and I was going to say, because we're going to have to go to a break now. Too much cursing can limit your ability to communicate. It can limit your ability to hold a conversation with somebody, because they may not have a problem with you cursing, but every other word, it's like,
dude,
I can't get past all of that.
Well, not only that, but just like socially, cursing, those words are words of aggression. So even though you might be playing, or it's a relaxed, conversation, like you get me around my guys, there's going to be curse words that drop. There's still words of aggression. They're still punctuating an emotion or something like that. Well, if you're in a conversation, a business setting or a religious setting or a social grouping that's not that kind of thing, Cursing can throw off the whole thing.
Around your parents.
But there's a lot of people now who will curse around their parents.
No,
and
people.
If
my parents.
I drop a curse word, I stop immediately and be like, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry."
To this day, I am turning 50 in 2 weeks. I cannot curse around my mom.
I can't do it intentionally.
My mother and father, which if you know me, you know who my father was. They would clean cuss you out. Period. From the A to the B.
And then I grew up in a house where no one cursed.
And
even though we all knew how to curse.
I grew up in a house with a whole bunch of cursing. So
I grew up in a house with a whole bunch of them. I'm like, we ain't got to do all this.
You're talking about somebody who had a single parent. I grew up in a house full of cursing.
No, growing up, I can literally say I've never heard my father curse.
Oh,
not in English. Because he'll drop that shiza on you in a minute. But I've never heard my father actually curse. My mom cursed at me, I think, one time my whole life that I can remember. But all of us know how. It was just a matter of this is the standards of communication in this house. My
parents never cursed at me, but they would cuss at everybody else. Oh, wow.
My kids, unfortunately, have heard me curse a few times. So that's something I'm trying to work on. But growing up,
y'all know who I'm married to, so y'all know we done heard a whole bunch of cussing in this house. We're going to our break. Please do not forget to hit that like button on the way out. We will be back in exactly 3 minutes. So stay tuned for Foxy's videos of the week.
It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out. No, I can't keep score when I lose my breath. Boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic, no, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out. No, I can't keep score when I lose my breath. Boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
We are back. Let me do a little bit of cleaning up to do. Tracy, and both of them is for Tracy. One, I think I said something when you said that you don't like cursing and everything, and I said I want to come to Tracy's defense, and that was misspoken. I wasn't coming to Tracy's defense. I was sort of just piggybacking off of her statement. So it wasn't a defense. Tracy do not need any defending whatsoever. Trust me, Tracy does not need no defending whatsoever. However, Foxy has brought it to my attention, Theus, that we are very mean to Tracy.
Yes,
Thank you, Foxy.
I said we are very mean to Tracy. So I'm going to tell Tracy the same thing that I told Foxy when she said, y'all two are very mean to Tracy. Say something very nice to Tracy when you come back. So Tracy, not a chance. You're our sister. That's what we do. We pick on the little sister of the group.
But okay, I'm your little sister, but there's no way I can be Theus's little sister and I'm 6 years older. I'm just saying.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying.
So there's a couple definitions of little sister. So you can have a chronological thing, but you could also have an antiquated, chauvinistic, male-centered approach of you're my sister, and so I don't care if you're older than me or not. I'm still going to look after you as though you were my little sister. And unfortunately, I come from that backwards, terrible way of approaching responsibility among other people. But I was not aware I was being mean to you, so I do apologize. For that, I sincerely do, because that's just not how I roll. So I'm sorry for that.
What, did Mickey say that I was teasable?
You're teasable.
See, that hurts. Now that one hurts, Mickey. But she'll keep doing it.
If I say something that offended you, I apologize. However, I don't think I offend you when you have your food takes and your music takes and stuff like that. It's just, whoa.
You're not really good at this apology thing, are you?
No. You just keep like just saying, I am sorry. I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm sorry for how I said it, but what I said.
Well, no, now that part I can dig because I
get that part.
Yeah, that's whatever I say, I mean to say it. I just may not have meant to say it the way I said it.
That's how a lot of arguments start.
That's like if your feelings were hurt.
No, that's a terrible apology.
No, that's
I'm sorry you took it that way.
Right.
No, that's not.
I'm sorry that you feel the way that you feel. No, that's it. That's the apology.
Yeah,
I need you to apologize to him. I'm sorry that you feel the way you feel.
Yeah, that's a.
Just tell Foxy I said.
Who was you apologizing to yourself?
I'm sorry you felt that way about what I said, so now that I have to feel some kind of way too. Got it. But no, but seriously, Tracy, if you can always call me on the carpet. So if I say something, just let me know. Typically, what I'm talking about is about religion. So that part, I mean, good luck stopping me there. But I do try to make it a point not to pick at you because, I love you. So that ain't my style. So.
And from me, I meant every word that I said. Your food tastes are atrocious.
No, they're not.
I meant
they're awesome.
every single solitary word that I said.
My food tastes are impeccable.
Let's see, what is something she did say on food that I agreed with?
Grits.
No,
because she likes grits.
I love grits.
No, you went I'm about to say you went ham, which is that's funny. You went ham on the bacon thing though.
Oh yeah, I was like, it's undefeated.
You lost your battle.
Bacon is undefeated. It's the heavyweight champion. It's like number one. You never gonna talk me off of bacon. Never ever. Yeah. Don't even try it.
Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all watch that episode for real because Tracy was like in left field, man.
And they forget this is my list. This is what I think, not what they think. What I think.
Do you think we don't? Okay, be honest. Be honest. Do I not tease Theas?
Yes, you do.
Okay, I teased Theas when he wasn't on the show. I teased Theas when he talked. The only
He called me a simple
the
mind.
waffle that for some reason,
I forgot that part.
cuts your mouth. I don't know what kind of waffle, just still waffle flavor. I don't know what I was eating, and then you have to feel every individual
like, no, you don't. You really
syrup.
can.
No dry waffle.
You don't want a dry waffle. I agree with you. So don't
Yeah, but you don't have to feel every single last ridge.
Just get a pancake.
Don't take it raw. I don't want my food to float. What the hell is he talking about? What?
Now, in my defense, I didn't say don't take it wrong because I don't care. I don't like my food to float.
Yeah, you guys have got to. It's for my Patreon, but you'll see it if you're Patreon. No sound
here from none of us.
Oh, let me check my feed out.
Mine is on. I can hear myself fine. I can hear Marlon.
Hold on, let me check mine, and mine is working.
Mine is working fine.
Mine is working fine. Anytime my partner does that, what they're talking about with the non-apology, he's in it for a whole day, very intensive. You damn well know I don't.
That was Marlon.
Apparently. Hold on, let me go back a little bit.
No, I love Chris. Oh, he's playing it.
I hear it's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, the internet's been just doing interesting things.
Wait a minute. We having some issues. You froze for a solid minute.
Oh wow.
Glitches. Oh no.
Sorry, folks.
Sorry. Let's just move on. Let's get through this. Maybe this is not the system for me. Maybe I need
you over there with that 8G system, and we back here.
I know we still have 5G. Like we can.
Maybe this is not the system for me. I don't know.
You teleport your signal in. Mine's just like one step past dial-up. That's all right. Cool.
I still use dial-up. Why do you think I'm glitching right now?
My internet's still waiting on the delivery man to show up with my CD.
Now, if you start talking about I gotta type in AOL, then we be done.
You've got mail.
You got mail. All right. Mafia, while we still have you, let's get to Foxy's videos of the week. Okay, I'm not getting any actual words at all. Y'all forgive me for 1 second.
Yeah, it could just be a glitch in the internet.
Right. Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now, and everything is coming in, so I don't know what's going on. Before we complain about the internet, just remember the days of AOL. Yeah, I remember the days of AOL.
Here, I have the worst story about internet. Okay, so freshman in college, 1997. Okay. There is nothing worse than trying to watch adult content on dial-up internet. Because back there were no videos, you had to look at dirty pictures. And they loaded from the top down very, very slowly. So if you didn't have your timing right. You would just about finally get the picture, and your roommate gets ready to walk in the room, and then you're like, well, damn, now I got to start all over again. And, it's dial up.
I thought you was going to talk about the creme de la creme of dial-up, where you had to time your computer when somebody was on the phone.
Yep, now that's oh my gosh. Get off the phone. I'm on the internet. Get off the internet. I don't need to use the phone.
You can't get on the phone. I'm waiting for a call.
Yeah. Back then we used to try to play, there's this game called StarCraft. I still play it to this day. But trying to play that on dial-up was horrible because you'd be playing somebody across the country or across the world, but let somebody get a phone call. Everybody just lost.
All I gotta say is
I actually kind of like that song. It was relaxing. It became just part of life.
Here's the deal.
That
reminds me of what Thea's you just reminded us of. Remember when it was updated and they used to have this cute little music in front of that, so you couldn't hear that, but the music will. Oh yeah, they had updated till it was like so I'm just using this for an example. So you would put the dial up in, and then instead of you could still hear that sound, but then you would try to cover it up with.
I don't remember that.
No.
I remember that.
I remember
that sound, but I don't remember tying it to that. So that's cool.
They tried to cover it up, but anyway, let's get started. It's been a long time since I took a shot at Trump because, quite honestly, I was sick of Trump. So my time is up by taking a shot. I'm not going to take everybody down. This is a short, sweet shot at Trump. So enjoy.
Oh, Jim, come here. Donald Trump's on the phone. He keeps getting indicted. He wants to know what he should do.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
If I was Trump, I would just keep breaking laws.
Yeah, you're going to get away with it.
Nobody has a get out of jail card like the most recent former president of the United States of America. He would literally have to be credibly charged with rape or murder.
Nuh-uh. Because we don't, for some reason, we live in a country. I wish sometimes we lived in Brazil. They throw their presidents in jail.
Most of the world will put their president in jail.
We all like, oh no, it wouldn't look right. Put they behind in jail. Put them in jail.
America's like the last one of
supposed it doesn't look right. Hey, man, shut up. Put them in here.
Yeah, because right now America is protecting the office. They're not protecting the man.
That's exactly what it is.
And that was why he got away with all that stuff while he was president. We were protecting the office.
But they're going to put fake electors in. Okay, let's just get these people to say they're electors.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
They only arrest the electors. The little fake ones, they've been arrested.
Yeah, but they're not going to arrest the man that made them do that.
No, because he's the president.
Issue. Yeah, that's what they're not going to do.
Because think about it. If in order to truly indict, they might give him an indictment. But to truly convict a former president of the United States, you know how much stuff you have to unwind? Congress would actually have to do something.
Yep.
Because somebody would have to remove, first, the current president would have to take the political hit of removing Secret Service from a prior president.
Yeah.
Then the Congress would have to get together and write new rules to address what put the last one in jail. Nobody want to do all that. So instead, they'll let this man go and maybe get somebody 2 to 3 layers lower.
That's news to me.
Oh, yeah, I heard that one, but, it's not going to go anywhere. Because
America also doesn't view sex crimes as real crimes.
Nope.
So good luck there anyway.
The only thing that I saw that was just disgusting in my part from Trump was him using the DOJ to help him for a civil suit.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
Nobody said, well, he's in charge. He's the boss. y'all really don't know how this works, do you? You just
Nope.
really.
But I mean, the system's working for him. He's
Or
never
don't
going to
care.
go to jail. If he did get sent to prison, he's just going to go to Russia or wherever it is he can go to. I mean, he's never going to.
Yeah. Honestly, the best case scenario is the man is indicted and he's put in jail because he's no longer president.
Yeah. I
The
think
worst
best
case scenario is they're just gonna make him look bad for the rest of his freaking life.
I think the best that we can hope for, specific to Trump, is that he has to file a series of bankruptcies all over again, which would cripple his businesses and affect his children. That's the best. That would be like the best I think you could get out of Trump. Maybe convict him on something and then waive imprisonment. So like he gets some paper charge so he can't run for president again. Maybe something like that. But nah, I think the best you can get is maybe you can get a Navarro or a Giuliani.
Yeah.
All right.
But as we switch, here's my real frustration with the Democrats in that area. For all the things that Trump exposed as far as being weaknesses or holes, the Democratic Party is not moving to close any of them.
Mm-mm.
So it still shows you that they're both operate, at least on that level, they're operating on the exact same team because they're just saying, well, I just won't do that. But I need to reserve the right to do it. It's disgusting, but I'm sorry.
The most that you're going to get out of the whole situation, and I will say I got receipts, but I got video receipts. They'll talk about it. What y'all looking at me for? That's it. They're going to talk.
Because I think at least Nixon had the decency to resign.
But he didn't know how far he could take it.
Yeah.
In today's environment, he never would have done it.
And by the way, Nixon, it was still corrupt because they gave him to resign. Because any other time it would have been us. No, you're done, dude. You're going.
But see, back then, it was only the beginning of truly breaking things apart. He was the forerunner. Had he done the exact same thing in today's climate, he never would have resigned. He would have wrote it out. And Congress would not have pushed him out. Back then, they did. Because back then, you also had liberals and conservatives on both parties. They didn't fix that.
Let's get to the grand jury first before we even go any further with this. Let's just see if you could actually find a grand jury that's going to, other than New York, because New York's grand jury did indict them. Let's see if the United States, if we can get a grand jury to indict them.
No, because too many of us don't like them.
I don't see it.
No, don't put me on that jury. I'd be like, send him to jail. Send him.
I don't see it happening. I don't see it.
Make sure his
I don't
orange.
see it on a federal level.
Make sure his orange costume matches his orange face.
The only punishment that he's going to face is it has to happen at the state level before it will ever give the federal any real strength.
And it's not going to happen at the state level.
Well, New York might get some stuff on him. Georgia might get some stuff on him. Arizona might hit him around the edges with the election stuff. But where it's really going to come down, though, is the DOJ. I'm starting to believe the DOJ is actually going to be giving something really big within the next, I'd say, year and a half. But it still won't touch Trump. It'll get close to him so that everybody will know.
Yeah, they'll try to figure out, is he running? If he's not, is he not?
Well, I don't think it's going to be about him running. I think it's because he's way too polarizing a figure and the fallout isn't worth it, for the reasons we already touched on, plus from the social reasons with, all the scared white supremacists of the world and white supremacy adjacents. So I don't think they'll touch Trump. But I think what they'll do is they'll make it clear how bad Trump was, and then get people below him.
Yeah, that's what I
think
was
that's what
saying
they'll
was
do.
they're just
But they're already doing that.
no,
Not really.
They're going to destroy. They're going to destroy and just make his life miserable.
Yeah, because
If
like
he's
right
going to
now,
jail, no, they're just going to just make his life miserable. So you'll, like I said, the worst case scenario that you'll see is there will be an indictment after an indictment after an indictment after an indictment, but it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
see,
and they could convict him, then he'll appeal it. Blah 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 blah. He's
well,
never
for
going
me,
to jail.
people want Trump, but I'm not concerned if they get Trump. I would really rather they hang everybody below Trump out to dry, because you have to get at the enablers. You have to get at the people who are trying to profit off of propping him up. Getting Trump alone does nothing for you because he's a figurehead. You have to make it so you do know if you try to help somebody else do this, your whole family will be bankrupt. Like you got to get the Miller guy, the scary demon.
Oh,
Well, Demon Child, yeah, Stephen Miller.
yeah,
Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller.
You got to get him. You got to get Bannon. You got to get Giuliani. You got to get Navarro. You got to get all those guys, because if you get them, you destroy their whole family.
You mean the quarterback sweeps guy?
Yeah.
That's the first football. Like, dude, if you're gonna use a football analogy, talk to somebody that knows football.
But it was effective.
And that's at this point, that's all that matters. We're gonna move on. The smart kid is back. Now, I will say this, just to show my smartness, because the other videos that she did, I couldn't figure out how she was gonna pull it off. This one, I knew how she was gonna pull it off. But here we go.
If you can blow up this balloon without putting your mouth on it, without blowing on it, without using no air pumps, no machinery, filling it up with water or anything like that, then I'll give you $100, all right?
You're betting hundreds now?
Yeah, girl, if I bet more, I'm going to win more. Because if you can't do it, you got to give me $100, all right? All right, so go ahead. Remember, I said you cannot blow on it and you cannot fill it up with water. Say. You're doing too much, you know that? There's no way you're gonna blow the balloon up. Unless you're worried out. You think you're the Avatar, you're just gonna air, fire. Ooh.
It's not working.
It's not?
Just kidding.
Another reason I love those.
The only reason I knew that trick was because I did it as a kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say that vinegar and baking soda do it every time.
But the reason I love these videos, and thank you so much for them, Marlon, is it makes science fun. I took my youngest, my 8-year-old, to the theater, the Playhouse that's here downtown where I live. And it was for a science show. And that's what she did. She was showing so many different ways that household chemicals and all these different things and how they interact, and, you know, and seeing this whole auditorium of kids from, like, I guess they were probably around 13 down. and just seeing them light up. Because in school, unless you go to a really good school, a lot of times this stuff gets missed. You know, so I love that. So that's how kids are learning, is through these TikToks and YouTubes. So, but now the adults have to do our job, because you still need to teach your kids about bases and acids and chemicals so that they don't hurt themselves in your house trying to mimic some stuff they saw online. But I love it.
It was fun to me, and I there is always a place for educational, clean video content, especially in the world that we're in right now. But at the same time, how they make it so entertaining, which is what's really important to me. Make it entertainment, make it fun. Don't just, if this is what you do, then this is what you do. See you next week. It was entertainment. It was funny. I want to tell dudes, stop betting your daughter because you've been losing thousands and thousands.
But that's how you get a kid to pay attention.
But that's obviously he's not really losing that money.
Wait a minute. Hold on. That's his sister?
Well, whatever the relation is. But
yeah, he's got a whole lot of money to waste. A whole lot.
Really. He hasn't won once.
One, we don't know what kind of money he has. But also, the thing that Marlon was just saying about make it fun, I am mixed on that opinion, because I think part of the problem we have with the dumbing down of our children is that we have somehow made it so everything they learn is supposed to be entertaining. Like everything is supposed to be fun. And I'm like, I guess this makes me an old fuddy-duddy or whatever the term is, but no, everything in life is not fun. Some things you need to learn because it's interesting, important, serious, whatever. There's a lot of different descriptors out there, and all of them are not going to be me making you enjoy what you're learning.
And ladies, enjoy what you're learning, they're not going to learn it.
That's not true. Because when we were growing up, it's not true, because you teach your children to do their chores. Are they enjoying it? No. If you're teaching it, if the way most of us learn math and science and reading and writing, it was not always fun. You sprinkle some fun in there, because it shouldn't be like working in a salt mine, but everything is not geared towards Sesame Street entertainment.
And with that nugget of this takes a fun thing and makes it political.
That wasn't even political. I'm trying to say, when you're trying to teach somebody something, you believe.
Oh, so yeah, I agree on this, not political. Oh, okay. Maybe it's
what I said wasn't political. Not, at least I didn't intend for it to be political. I was talking about, this is more social, which is, how do we pour into our children and help them understand that life is not always fun. Getting something done is not always going to entertain you. Sometimes your skills are going to be called on to do it because you're the best one qualified to do it. And that means you just got to get in there and do it. That to me is leadership.
I have heard this so many times. This is why I push back on it. I heard so many times that this is not a job. This is a career. I enjoy what I'm doing, and so I don't feel like it's a job. So if you enjoy what you're doing, and you got to give them a reason to enjoy. Yeah, they may start off with the entertainment variety of science, but that was an introduction to it. As the time goes on and they start exploring more, and they still are entertained with not just only going through it, but the results of it, they're still enjoying it. So when they become an adult, they're doing it because it is still enjoyment. It is still wonder to them. They still want to learn. They still want to grow. So I can't believe when it can't be, okay, I'm going to entertain you this time, but best believe as time goes on, this ain't always going to be fun and excitement and everything else. It's
But
not. That's
you're
not
trying
going
to
to work.
paint what I just said in a very simplistic black and white thing, and that's not what I said. I said you have to have some fun in there. But as far as if you're talking about a career or something you enjoy doing or you're passionate about, you're not always going to have fun doing every aspect of it. Some parts are kind of but it feeds towards the overall thing that you enjoy. So I guess it's the entertainment aspect that we're talking past each other. Because, for example, I love talking to you guys online. I love brain dumping and I love doing all those things. What I don't like, editing.
But you
What
still
I
got to do it. Yeah,
what I
I
don't
feel
like, having to fight with the internet to make sure my stuff shows up properly, like the production piece. I don't like that stuff. But I do it because the overall thing that I'm doing, I thoroughly enjoy. So that's the point I'm making. The way you painted what I was saying came across as, no, they need to have fun all the time. That's not what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying because, and I'll piggyback exactly what I said to you earlier today. This is the first time in a long time that I really feel like this is a job, and I still enjoy it because we've been doing broadcasting darn near all day since 1:00
since
this
1:00.
afternoon. And on top of that, no, 2:00 this afternoon. It was supposed to be 1:00 this afternoon.
It was like 1:30. Stop it.
What 1:30? I thought you said 1.
We were supposed to start at 1, and there was a series of issues.
Okay.
Part of which we were waiting for you to come on, but series of issues. We started at about 1:30, somewhere around there, and then we were trying to like beat the clock all the way through from there. So, but it was, at least I can speak for me. It was fun. Like it was all the way through. That was fun. But me trying to figure out how to live stream, Susan saw it. Me trying to live stream my Patreon and it not working right, that wasn't fun.
It really just felt like I'm trying to say this without sounding arrogant because I don't want to come off arrogant.
Yes, you have a good computer.
Yes, you have a large monitor.
I wasn't going to say that at all. It really just made me feel like I'm a professional in this area. Because it was back to back broadcasting. It was boom, 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 boom. It was be on time, get on time, do this, blah, 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 back, let's go. Let's be real. Up until this point, we did 2. The most was 2. This was, we have a 2 o'clock. Now we have a 3 o'clock. If this was an off, it felt like if I was at the office. We have a 2 o'clock program. Marlon, we have a 2 o'clock and we have a 3 o'clock. Okay, we don't have nothing to 9 o'clock. So go home, get you some rest, go get you something to eat. But I need you back here at 9 o'clock so we can do the third. It was, for me, it was exciting. It was like.
No, I agree. But like I have been sitting in front of this computer. Well, I use a TV for my monitor. So I've been sitting in front of this TV all day. The only time I got up was to go to Chipotle to get some food. Okay. So for me, the fun stuff has been when it's the 3 of us and everybody who's catching it, just, doing what we do. But after we finished the 3 o'clock, it wasn't like I was able to just go dance off.
You just go straight to sleep. I wish. I was trying to get a nap. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta edit this, put it up.
Right, but if I had a better computer, I could have took a nap like a certain somebody.
Well, I'll feel your pain after my birthday because there's a lot of editing that I'm going to do to put on Patreon. Cuts and editings and the best of. And by the way, just to give you a sneak peek of what the first video on Patreon will be, the best of show, and I got to find it. I am going to try to find that huge tirade that deals with about cleaning up under your chastity and all that other stuff it was funny, it was entertainment. I laughed my butt off. The
Mickey and
audience laughed
I
their
were
butt off. I think that'd be
trying.
a first grade edition.
Mickey and I were
No,
trying to help people with proper car maintenance. You
you
guys
know,
have dirty minds.
you know what, Marlon? You got to include. You got to include Mr. Davidson. Desperate times call for desperate.
Oh, I'm
men.
definitely putting him in there.
Oh,
and
he
Tracy,
got the.
Tracy, I caught you. See, I went back and I watched your test run. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all need to watch it. I caught your test. You snuck that little bad toddler in
Yep,
there.
I sure did. My platform, I can do what I want to.
And she didn't show the whole thing to me.
I did show the whole thing.
I do appreciate you not showing me that little bad little rut rat. So I do appreciate it. We're going to move on because this video is for you. Tracy, the next video is for you. But so we're going to start off with Thea's. So everybody get you something to drink, relax yourself and everything else because this is going to be a really long, detail-oriented thing after I showed Thea's this. So I knew what I was getting myself into, but sometimes you got to do for the people. So here we go.
There's one thing that you could tell black people as a race. What would you say?
If every black person got life insurance, like $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 policy, like every black person, there would never be another wrongful death by like any cop, any lawmaker, any person of any sort of power that wouldn't get prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Insurance companies hate having to pay. So they have got the best fucking lawyers in the fucking world.
Take it away, Theus.
No, that's cool. A friend of mine actually shot this video to me and asked me, my take, because this is professionally, this is the arena that I function in, right? Mm-hmm. And his advice, it's good advice for every black person to get life insurance. That's good advice. And I strongly say you need to do that. His justification for it is severely flawed. So first, the reason why every black person should get life insurance is because you're guaranteed to die, right? So you need to have the right insurance and you need to have strong limits that you can afford as best you can, because this is one way to infuse tax-free lump sum money into your household. The way that I used to kind of explain it to people when I was in sales is you're renting the money that you're working to give your family anyway. Your goal as a working individual is to accumulate assets and cash. Let's just pick a number of $250,000. Your goal is to do the things, build the business, do the savings, do the investments, buy the property, all these things, so that when you die, your family will inherit that asset base. Okay? What life insurance allows you to do is even out some of the playing field that puts obstructions in the way just because you're black. There are certain things that will get in your way that are bigger than your individual efforts. Plus, there's the human things that could take you out of this world anyway, right? So you pay monthly premium for $250,000 of insurance. I'm going to use the example of a term policy. Your term policy, let's say, is a 25-year term. So you have 25 years to accumulate the assets to hit $250,000 for your family. If you manage to make those 25 years and you make that money, guess what? You won. Your insurance went away. You're now self-insured effectively at that point. Good job. If you were in a bad accident and you died, if you got a bad illness and you died, if some random person assaults you and kills you, you died, you were paying rent on that $250. That $250 now comes to your wife or your husband. No taxes. You've now catapulted your family forward with the money you were trying to do. So I'm sorry for that little life insurance lesson, but I hope it helps somebody. Where the flaw in what he's saying comes in is he was using it with respects to wrongful death. That will not work if you're dealing with law enforcement. Because almost, and I have to say almost, but I've never seen it not be, but almost every life insurance policy has an exception clause that will not pay if you are incarcerated or if you are charged with a crime. So, if an officer kills you, then all it has to be is shown that you were committing a crime when he killed you. There will be no payout. So, what he laid out is good for the reasons I just explained before, but it's flawed for what I just said just now, because it still doesn't stop the extrajudicial killings from the police. It's only if it's sloppy or something like that where, now your insurance company will pay out because you weren't charged with a crime. It was just one of those, we don't accept responsibility, but we'll save you some money, right? Those situations, now you'll have the private policy that pays, and you'll have the civil lawsuit against the city that will pay. Okay, cool, but we were already there anyway. So, sorry,
No, I knew this was going to be that way because this is your wheelhouse.
Yeah, but I wasn't upset about it. I think even if you're doing it for the wrong reason, the right answer is get insurance. I'm like, get it. Period. If you don't get it, I question your intelligence. Now, it does get difficult to get insurance the older you get or health complications.
Yeah.
So that's why it's super, super, super important to get the insurance while you're as young as possible before health issues arise. Now, if you have a young child or nieces, nephews, things like that, and they are, say, 18 to 25, right, prime of their life, odds of them dying super low. It would have to be an accident of some sort. That's the age group that you get them a whole life policy. Okay? It's a deeper discussion with whomever your person is, but I strongly recommend you look into a whole life policy. There's participating, non-participating, all that stuff is out there. But anyway, whole life, not universal and all that stuff. But you look at that type of policy for this major reason. A young person is not likely to die from natural causes. So their premium is going to be very low.
Can you answer this for Mickey for me?
Yeah, because I was about to say, yeah, Mickey's got a good question.
That is very true. But even if you're struggling financially, in the moment, it may not seem like that, especially if you have medical issues. If you have medical issues, it really gets complicated. Okay?
Yeah, because Susan just said she can't get a life insurance because of her diabetes.
Her diabetes,
Exactly.
we sure can.
So that's why I was saying it's important that we do it as early as we can. Okay? Now, if that wasn't, early as we can, passed us by, we're past that at this point. We're 40, we're 50, we're 60 years old. Okay, now you're looking at a slightly different situation. Now you're looking at get what you can afford. You get you a term policy at that particular point. And it may only be a $50,000 policy. But here's why you still get that. Even if it's costing you $100 a month for $50,000, whereas I'm paying $100 a month for a total of $500,000 for me and my wife. But I've had my policy for a while. See what I'm saying? So now you're later on, you do have some health issues. You do have these things. You find out what you can afford, and you get that. And you get that because in the event that you do pass away, that's still money that comes back to your beneficiary tax-free. That's still making sure that your death, at least your death, is not a financial burden that you've passed on to someone you say you care about. Okay? Now, if you're uninsurable, it's a different discussion. If you're uninsurable, now you just have to find a way to save. And that would be a whole other discussion I'd love to have with anybody. But now you have to focus on saving, because the amount of money you would try to dump into a policy when you're uninsurable will be counterproductive. You're just tossing money and they're giving you like a $10,000 policy that does you no good, right? But if you're thin on income, money is tight. Like you're struggling to figure out how to eat, okay? Then it's not you. I'd say you have to really look at what is your real budget, your real expenses, and are you really maximizing that? Because like for sometimes we're spending where we don't need to, and those little edges can add together to do something else for you. So that could be a case. But if it's truly a matter of the X's and the O's and they just don't add up well for you, the money's not there. Like you can't make money just appear, right? Focus on that first. Focus on getting that stronger. Focus on getting you an emergency fund put together. Focus on being able to survive your week to week. Save up little bits at a time so that you can now have at least a couple, like a month or two worth of savings. Now you start to build out from there and you get insurance if you can. But first you got to make sure you're able to live. You know,
I'm gonna let you get the final word on this statement. My life insurance canceled me after the auto accident that left me disabled.
Now, this is an individual situation, so I don't want to put all your business out there. So if you're willing to answer this, cool. But did they cancel you, or was there a financial situation that interrupted your policy payments, and then they wouldn't allow it to be reinstated? Because I would be shocked if they just out of the blue canceled you for a policy that's already in force. Because then there must be some funny stuff in the contract, and that was a bad policy. Because when you get the policy, that's your policy. The only way insurance companies can generally get out of those is if you did something to break the contract, such as not pay the premium.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm gonna end it with this: is also let's start getting our wheels together.
Absolutely.
Let's not leave it up to the states to decide what we work for all our lives.
I'm gonna put that in 2 parts. I'm gonna say it really quick. With the will, if you have dependent children, and each state is a little different how they treat your kids, but generally is how it works. If you have dependent children, you need to have a will. Because in some states, the biological parent that survives does not automatically get that child. So you can pass away. Your child will become a ward of the state, meaning a foster child, until such time as the state decides who gets your child. Ultimately, that child will probably end up with the biological parent or with the step parent or with a grandparent. But that's ultimately. Yeah. In the window of time, your child just became a foster child and can be moved any old kind of way.
Question.
Yeah, Mickey, answer your question.
Yeah,
Is that legal?
I can't give legal advice, but that's something I would say I would have had somebody look at for me if you didn't, because just something doesn't feel right about that. They need something to give them the ability to cancel an enforce contract.
So this is Tanya. Yeah, I swear I'm getting my stuff together. Yeah, we really need to. And be honest with you, that could be something that, you know, when you have your family gatherings and things like that, dinners and stuff like that, that may need to be a subject that comes up in conversation.
Which is hard to do. That's why I don't sell insurance no more, because trying to help my people is frustrating. Okay, I went broke trying to do that.
What the hell? State gets my child. I'm coming back from the grave. LOL.
It can happen.
I have literally, don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true. But because we're talking about hood legal stuff. But I've heard that before. If the baby mama don't have a will and she dies, the state will take the child before they give it to the father. And well, no, it wasn't vice versa. The state will give the child to the state before they give it to the father. And I was just like, that makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, you have to look at it from the standpoint of the state.
Yeah.
So, okay. I don't know how to say this without sounding really jacked up. But men, first of all, men, you need to value your bloodline. You need to value your name. You have an obligation towards any child that you create. Period. Point blank. If you are not able to take responsibility for a child you help create, then you know how to not create one. That's on you. Ladies, basically the same thing for you. It's just that you're going to be tasked with even more burden in most cases. Because there is no way to walk away from it. Right? You're going to carry this with you one way or another. If you have an abortion, now you have that you carry with you. If you have the baby, now you have that you carry with you. If you go with adoption, now you have that you carry with you. There is no escape. Men, there shouldn't be any escape for us either. Okay? That's that part. But men, also to protect your rights. First of all, I'm going to give you the advice my father gave me when I was a kid. He gave me two pieces. He gave me a lot, but two main pieces. One, a Robinson man raises his children. It's non-negotiable. So that's just not an option. That's what you do. But number two, any woman that you lay down with can become the mother of your child. Now, if you follow my rule number one, you can see how ironclad number two becomes. So now I'm stuck with this woman for the rest of my natural life, whether I marry her or not, because she's the mother of my child. So that's the responsibility piece. But then to protect your right, men, marry her if you love her and try to find your way to make it work. And I'm not saying that because I'm all pro-marriage. I'm saying that because I'm pro-child. And with that child, you have now helped create a legal contract under the eyes of every state in this country that will help protect your rights in the event that she gets to acting crazy, she decides to leave, any of these things, you have rights. If she happens to pass away, you ain't going through all this extra stuff. The kid isn't going into the system. It's your kid.
Yep, I think Mickey's answered your question.
Yeah, that's scary. I'm so sorry, Mickey.
Yeah, that's just
messed up.
It is.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Thank you for joining the Robinson Insurance.
I had to get that heavy stuff out of the way, and I literally wanted to make sure that it was there, because there are certain things that all three of us are unfortunately, regardless of what them little laws, Scandinavian laws say, there are specialties in this group. I know, ooh, that's scary for all of y'all because we ain't supposed to be special in any type of way. But I knew Theus was a specialty in insurance, and I wanted to hear his take on it. When it comes to progressive politics and things like that, I go to Tracy. Especially when it comes to local and independent candidates and people like that, I go to Tracy. There are specialties that we all have. I'm never going to go to Theus about grits. I'm never going to go to Tracy about any type of food whatsoever.
Definitely not fruit.
But we have a specialty in certain things, and I knew that was Theus's thing, and I really appreciate all of it. I'm gonna get through these questions, and we're gonna keep moving because I'm trying to keep it as close to 2 hours as we can. Statistically, black men are the best democratic group at taking care of their children.
Yep, that's the fact that you never hear.
Yeah, but they're not gonna put that in the news.
Yeah,
we got bad marketing. We got bad marketing, man.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Every black man I know either takes care of his children or married to the woman who
had the children. I'm like,
but here's the funny thing, Theus. But that's the ace in the hole for not taking care of your child. We automatically become baby daddies. And baby daddies, for some reason, seems to come off as, oh, you're just a baby daddy. You ain't taking care of your kid. No, that just means I'm not married to the mother. That doesn't mean I'm not taking care of the child.
Well, also, the black community, because of our unique history, specializes in non-traditional family units.
We sure do.
But because we're stuck in a Eurocentric society and we're so Negropean that we think that we're them, we cast certain nets on ourselves. So when I went to the father-daughter dance in the schools that my daughters go to, my youngest two, this is a predominantly white area. So standing room only, you're lucky if you even get a ticket, and it's dads everywhere, right? Right? When my eldest daughter, she used to go to an elementary school in the hood. Okay.
Hold that thought one real quick. I just want to ask a real quick question. Tanya, are you still watching the show because the next video you're going to enjoy? So just tell me yes or no if you're still watching the video. Okay, go ahead, Diaz.
But it was in the hood, right? Father-daughter dance, when we were there, it wasn't even something that they had been doing for a long period of time. And when you're at the father-daughter dance, because we went to all of them, it was uncles, grandfathers, fathers, boyfriends, every blend you could possibly have of a male role model taking care of a girl. And the thing that I really wish people could focus on is how beautiful that is. Because a child needs a father figure.
Thank you.
And whether you're married to the mom or not, because see, sometimes the boyfriend dynamic is there because the husband dynamic didn't work or it's not there yet or any number of issues. But that boyfriend, if he loves that child, that is still a father. And our community knows this, but we suck at marketing for ourselves and we buy the marketing that's pushed onto us. And I'll step off my soapbox.
And I'm going to just add this and then I'm going to move on. I have 5 children. One of them is biological. 4 of them are not. I promise you, like I promised them, like I promised my wife, like I promised everybody, like I promised to God themselves, they ain't never, ever going to have to worry about not having a father in their life until I leave this earth. Period. Point blank. From the beginning to the end to the middle. I've not one time never treated them as my step kids. I treated them as my children, my responsibility, as if they were my biological child. Because at this point, you are. And you're going to be treated exactly as I've always treated my biological child. You all are my biological children. You ain't never got to worry about me leaving your life.
Y'all making me want to cry now.
But that's
Dang
just
on
it.
onions.
Marlon, what you described has always been our community. Always.
Everybody cried. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, dang, come on. I did not come to this to cry. I didn't.
I'm sorry.
You realize how ugly I am when I cry?
Marlon got everybody allergies acting up.
I'm sorry.
God dang.
My father was not in my life. And I got over it. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to be upset when nobody's in your life. You know, I went through that whole "why is he not in my life?" And honestly, since I grew up in the hood, it kind of like swung over me. So it was like no big deal. So it's like, it is what it is. Them children ain't gonna feel that from me. You ain't gonna feel that from me, buddy. And trust me, I've had them try to push me away. Do your worst, sweetie. I ain't going nowhere. And and I'm not doing it because I love your mom, because yes, I do love your mom. So don't believe I'm in your life simply because to be with your mama. I'm in your life because I want to be in your life.
And that's the commitment.
Well, y'all just went all super heavy here.
I'm not talking about women because I can't talk about women because I ain't no woman. But that's the mark of a man. And so when people keep trying to redefine what it is to be a man as though being a man is somehow wrong, being masculine is sometimes somehow toxic, like that whole, stop it. Toxic behaviors are toxic behaviors and they need to be called out for what they are. But any child who is in my presence is my child.
My responsibility.
When I take my child to the playground and all them little monsters are running around out there, I'm watching all of them. If your child comes to my house for a birthday party, whatever, I'm going to talk to them just like I talk to my children. Because they under my care.
God, I had one.
That's how it works.
I'm sorry. I had the one little child, and bless her heart, she's sweet. She is sweet as can be now. She's one of my granddaughter's best friends. My granddaughter, I think she was my granddaughter's best friend. But when she came over here that one time and was talking smack to me and everything else, and she said, "You can't say that. I'm going to tell my daddy." Well, your daddy ain't here right now, honey, and you ain't going to talk to me any type of way. So let's revert back to manners. At this point in time, the sweetest little girl you ever wanted. Hey, Mr. Clyber, it's nice to see you. I was like, hey, nice to see you again.
Could y'all stop with this deep stuff? I'm trying not to cry.
Piggyback on what Theus is saying, and we really got to move on because Tanya can't keep interest for so long. To piggyback, I said, Tanya, what are you smirking your face up? That's my sister-in-law.
Because even though I don't know her, I saw the shade.
That ain't shade. But to piggyback on what the toxic statement that's always said, dude, how can you raise somebody else's child? So let me go ahead and put this in perspective. I'm raising mine.
Yep.
So we could go ahead and kill that.
Yep. That's how I feel about.
But thank you for your ill-advised, unused, unnecessary advice.
Yeah. That's how I feel about gay children, trans children, disabled children.
I'm trying to get like you slow.
See there, I heard that shade. I
didn't hear it.
Okay, we're moving on. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the next video.
But a child is a child of the village. Period. That's how I feel.
You in my house, you're my child. Done.
I'm done. I'm good.
All minds clean and whatever that statement
Whatever
goes.
the church statement is.
Yeah, all that.
All hearts and minds are clear.
All hearts and minds are clear.
We fine.
Okay.
Amen, Pastor.
We're gonna move on to the next video. Tracy, I did say this was for you. I don't think it's for you. I just think it's funny. Because it's overstepping. I don't really want to do it because it's really because Mickey is on here. You know, I have to give her some raunchy stuff. Not raunchy, won't stuff, but raunchy jokes. So just jokes and something funny, but it's on the adult level.
So your cable not working?
Okay, just a side step. Have anybody actually watched a porn movie where the music was
Well, I've never watched a porn movie, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God, Tracy, that is so shocking. I would have never thought this.
I've seen basically every genre you got out there, so yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
For scientific purposes, studying. And
it was his research.
Yes.
Yeah, biological science.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on to this next video. It speaks for itself.
Hey there, welcome back to Relationship Hut. You know what you want, or you need a minute to look over the menu? I actually know exactly what I want. Can I get the 2-piece marriage meal, please? At this age, all marriage meals come with at least one previous child. Is that cool? That's fine. All right, 1 marriage meal, 1 previous child. We're all out of the healthy version. Did you want the male podcast energy one, or did you want the one with the cheater? You can scratch that all together. Tell me about the friends with benefits fajitas. Yeah, so with that one, it comes with unlimited orgasms. You want 1, you want 4, get as many as you like, but it also does come with an extra large unexpected pregnancy. Fuck, is that the co-parenting meal? It's the deadbeat deluxe, actually. Sorry. Let me just get my regular, please. 1 single snack pack. Struggle on the side. Did you want extra batteries this time?
And you thought that was gonna be for me.
I need to see the Yelp review on this
attention. No, I knew it wasn't for you.
And it follows terribly with what we were just talking about.
Does it? I'm like, well, wait a minute. We did all this positive reinforcement, and then here she comes.
Yeah, but that Yelp review is going to be interesting.
See, I guess I don't get porn. I just don't. I'm like, for what? Why am I watching this?
You ain't never lied. It is
the
worst.
Bad stuff.
Are there good porn movies? I really
there are amazing porn movies. Booty Talk, the whole series. Booty Talk, look it up. It's wonderful. You love it. You love it.
But Booty Call is like R-rated.
No, Booty Talk. Okay, Booty Talk, classic. Okay.
I'm not gonna look this up.
They were originally issued in VCR tapes, VHS. So anything you see might be a little grainy now, but classic. But anyway. So I've heard.
Yeah, because he named the title, but so he heard. He knows the title, the plot, but so he heard. He knows who's in it, where they came from, what city they're from, but he just heard about it.
I mean, you know, I listen to the streets. The streets be talking.
But Mickey, that's impossible. I don't think you can have friends with, well, that's my own personal opinion.
Don't not friends with privileges as long as both follow the rules. Is good. Friends with bennies? That's possible.
Well,
I don't think it
I
is.
have never
had one. I'll be totally honest with you.
I've never had friends with benefits.
I'm transparent on this. I've never had friends with benefits.
Yeah, I've never had a friends with benefits because for me, it always gets complicated.
Yes, because that's human emotion.
But it doesn't. That's not always the case though, because everybody ain't the same. So, you know, oftentimes where I see friends with benefits with other people is one or both of them are in other relationships. So they're technically just cheating.
Yeah, I'm like, that's just called cheating.
They're able to keep it separated because there's somebody else who's fulfilling the emotional part that they need. And then this person is doing the physical part. But
Right in between.
No, she's telling the truth. It is.
can,
but
yeah,
It's just not for me. I'll say it that way.
It's not for me either because I'm not a jealous person. So actually, I would cause a problem because I'm not causing a problem. Weird as it is, I don't believe that I have any sense of ownership over another person. So odds are highly likely, which I've unfortunately encountered, which is why I can't have friends with benefit, or I couldn't. I definitely can't have them now. But she'll start having feelings when she said that she wasn't going to.
Yeah, we're going to do this and we're not going to have feelings. Yes,
because the longer you stay in, and like you can have a one night stand and nobody cares. You just walk away. But the longer you're having that back and forth, eventually the odds just keep stacking up that either you're going to attach to her or she's going to attach to you.
And I'm gonna tell you the downfall of it on both ends, which is why I don't want to do it. I just can't do it.
Well, you're married for one, so that wouldn't work.
When I wasn't married, Tracy.
Oh, okay.
Stop picking on me. Okay.
I'm trying to protect you, brother. I'm just saying.
Thank you, Fizz. Thank you, Fizz.
This is not bad at all. This is way before I got married. I couldn't do it because, and this is where it gets really complicated, and it goes down a bad route. Both men and both women, it is very equal. When your emotion is attached to the sex. Okay conversation with the person. Both people are okay looking. The sex is phenomenal. That's why you all of a sudden just love this person. You just want to be with them. I have seen so many relationships I've ever heard from so many of my friends on that issue. And I guarantee you it lasts a grand total of at least 2 years.
That long? I would have said 6 months.
Yeah, I would have went with Tracy's number.
I'm like, nah, that can't last with 6 months, and that's on a good.
Let's say 2 years off and on. Let's put it to you that way.
But yeah, I can't like separate myself. I am very emotionally charged, I guess you could say. So when I'm with you, I'm with you. So like it's literally even when I was dating, it was funny. It was the weirdest thing. I could talk to multiple women. In fact, I often talk to multiple women. But I would only allow myself to be intimate with one at any given time. So you could rest assured, if I ain't sleeping with you, I'm not going to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's where it gets kind of tricky.
But that's because of those 2 rules I told you that I picked up from my father. So they've always been in my head.
Because maintaining a relationship is already work.
Well, not when you're dating.
Oh, okay.
Like if I didn't want to fall in love, I made sure I was talking to more than one woman at any time. Because that way my attention is split. I can't fall in love with you.
But if you're in a relationship, whether it's sexual, not sexual, whatever, I have to focus. My focus is always going to be with the man who I'm with. I ain't got time to be sitting here juggling this man and this man and this one and that. I don't got time for all that.
I feel you. But it only becomes juggling if somebody's not being honest.
Yeah, and I figured the easiest way to get picked up is to wear a wedding ring. I learned that real early.
Oh, yeah. The easiest way to get picked up is to say that you want to get picked up because as a woman, you are firmly in the driver's seat. A woman can be intimate or not intimate whenever she dang well feels like it. There ain't no hunting for y'all. Just selection for y'all.
Well,
on the guy side, oftentimes the guy who's going to flock to the woman who has a ring is a guy who's trying to cheat on his own lady, or he prefers to be the other man.
Yeah,
because if you're the other man, you don't have the emotional upkeep responsibilities, and some guys like that.
And why does Martin look like he's about ready to laugh?
I don't know.
Cause he do got that sneaky look on his face.
Like he the bad kid.
You know, like he can say something, don't got no business saying it.
Let's just say, thank goodness I'm married now.
It's hard in these single streets. It is difficult to be single in the 2020s.
I keep hearing that.
Because I have slept with multiple women.
Please don't say a number because you know what? That's too much for me. I can't.
I'm not going to say a number.
Thank you.
Because I can't remember. Anyway, we're going to move on to the last video. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, I didn't say nothing. I'm good.
Yeah, we're like, okay, next video.
Cereal sucks for breakfast.
It really
It's
does.
a breakfast food. I don't know what y'all talking about. It's
if you're a conformist and you're following the rules that somebody else gave you.
Thank you. Whoever said that, I'm so glad you could call a man a hoe.
That's his
Thank
sister-in-law.
That look, literally, I am not joking when I say this at all. My mother has called me that.
You know, I hate that came across the screen because now that ludicrous song is stuck in my head. She's a...
It's entirely possible to have a long-term friend, both not in a relationship, to have a sexual relationship as long as both are following.
But what are these rules? That's what I'm getting at. I'm like,
Nikki, this is my issue. Not an issue. This is how I was brought up. When I was growing up in the hood, you had to be good at one of the two things. It's wrong now. I get it. We're grown people, but we're talking about when I was a kid. You had to be good at one or two things. Either you had to be good at fighting or you had to be good at sex. Those were it. Those were, you keep saying rules, those was our rules. You either had to know how to be very well at fighting or you had to be very well at picking up women. At that time, little girls. If you do both, you was the Mac. Very rare that anybody would good at both. So you're looking at a 4 foot, 100-pound dude. Let's just say fighting is not an option.
wait a minute, Marlon. I thought you was 5'10".
Somebody when he was younger.
No, I'm talking about when I was
So
okay,
apparently he's going back to 5th grade on us.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, huh? Yeah, okay, got it.
He was a little male hoe for real.
So yeah, I learned the other things, and I grew up on those other things. So as time went on, it was embedded in me. As we got older, it was embedded in me. To pick up as many women as you possibly can at the same time. It was frowned upon to have one woman. Because it was frowned upon. It wasn't looked at you was committed. It was looked at, oh, that's the only one you could pull. So it was frowned upon. These was our rules. So when you say have a sexual relationship as long as both know the rules, those was our rules. You are living through a different type of rules than what I was brought up on.
But Marlon, I got a question for you. Did you expect those women to stay faithful to you while you were out cutting out on them?
Absolutely.
See, that's what. Yep, that's what I'm talking about.
Like I said, was it stupid? Yeah, it was stupid, but absolutely, we thought that was always our reason for breaking up with them was because you cheated on us. We was doing the exact same thing.
And you was cheating the whole time.
Now y'all have that song.
Yeah, like
Tracy, I don't think you know the song.
You know what I mean? It's like if you do.
I know rap music. I don't know why y'all don't think I do.
Because you don't like because curse words bother you. So the ludicrous song that I'm referencing, I can't imagine that not just like turning your stomach.
But if you're not together that often and you're dating others, well, I said that attachment doesn't happen.
It can though. That's the problem.
It can happen. It has happened.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to side with Mickey's point that she's making, which is you can't impose your guiding principles onto what can work for someone else. You just can't.
That's a good point.
You just can't. So my core operating, I know I sound like a robot, but I have core operating procedures that I follow, and I've had them since I was probably about 13 years old. So there's a standard of conduct that I follow. And so I told you about two of them, right, that I got from my father. And then there's a couple others that I developed for myself. And I'm hard set on those things. So that's why I can't be in certain types of relationships. Because it would not
that
work.
was just bothering me. He got his side pieces. I got no. What are we doing?
But you're looking at it through a construct that fits you. See,
yeah, through what fits me. I'm not sitting there telling me that my
the
choices
young
are
people
good.
today have a different construct.
And let me put this. Not even a pushback. It's just is. I wouldn't even say you're looking at a construct because her construct is how I see it. But let me push back one little bit, Tracy. That's how I see it now. See, everything that I'm telling you that I did, I was 100% feeling that I was correct in the matter. I even felt 100% that all guys was doing that all girls was doing that. So when you say the rules and regulations, I figured the girls that was in my life knew the same rules. That actually being faithful was not the norm.
Which is interesting. Now, I didn't grow up in the hood, right? I grew up military and suburban. Okay. So all of that's real. Like I've had friends throughout the years that were like that. Where like the dude just did whatever he did. It was like a competition that he had with himself or with how he viewed his relative positioning and masculinity. And so how many girls can I pull? How much game can I play? Stuff like that. And if you challenge them, and now a woman could never challenge them on this because they would never give you an honest answer because they're always in game mode. But guys, we could challenge each other and they would tell you, yeah, I do what I do, but she can't do that. Right. So I, even as a youth, I looked at that and it's like, that's stupid. Right. Because I believe anything I do, this is my operating principle. So I was very abnormal. Anything that I do,
it wasn't
the other person can do. And so I can honestly say, never had a history of cheating. And the reason I never had a history of cheating was not because I was against cheating. It was because I'm against her cheating on me. So long as I have clean hands, the moment you mess up, I don't have to worry about any emotional baggage, none of that. Right? And I've messed up a lot. I've been blamed for messing up a lot of women in my youth because they didn't understand how strict I was on those rules. So when they did mess up, I was gone. No arguments, no breakup conversations, just gone.
I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
Which part?
You was blamed?
Because
that really did come off as I'm sorry for the way you.
No, because I wasn't wrong. Because because it's not an apology. Because what I'm saying
no. Remember we were saying earlier when people try to apologize and they go, "I apologize."
No, certainly.
Feel.
But I'm not doing one of those backhanded apologies. Okay. I'm literally just saying that I'm very upfront. So when we're talking or beginning dating and all that stuff, because I still believe in that slow motion stuff with that part. If you're someone I'm serious in, because see, first of all, you got to understand there's two types of women. The way I grew up, there's a woman you keep. There's a woman you play with. Okay. So the women that you play with, the rules are whatever they are.
So you said you messed up a lot. What did you mess up on? I don't know who the heck Theon is, but
who's Theon? I don't know who Theon is. I think
I've been blamed for messing up women because what they didn't understand is because I'm so rigid in how I function, and I don't function like most men. I never have. I have never been the guy who had to prove who I was by bagging as many women as I could. That was never me. So for me, I'd rather have one person to focus on. And then when I'm done, I move, whatever relationship doesn't work, and we move on or whatever. But if you violated any of my core rules, which I told you about.
Did you tell them what the core rules were?
Always. But
yeah, you gotta tell them what the rules are.
But here's what trips people up. I'll tell you, this is what trips people up. Because I function so much different than a lot of people, you think I'm just talking. And I'm not. I don't waste words like that. Never have since I was about 13. So I would tell you, these are the reasons why I will leave. Right? Give them to you. You may have heard them once, 2, 3 times, probably. I've given them to you. You will be my world, even if I'm not in love with you, because I've only been in love twice and I married both of them. But even if I'm not in love with you, I will treat you like the queen that you are because I chose you. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you everything. You all of that. You know, all the extra stuff.
Mickey's got a good question.
That is my and Theus, tell me the truth. Tell everybody the truth. That have I not said that to you? That's the only issue that I always had with you. That you do not do forgiveness.
I don't. So.
Oh, Marlon, wait a minute. This is like the tea kettle calling the pot black a little bit, don't you think?
Well, he was just pointing out the flaws in my design.
Well, we talk about relationship. Who have I not forgiven? Because if you talk about, who are you talking about?
Not specifically, but generalities.
But it was a fair criticism because I, as a general rule, I don't forgive. I process. I don't forgive.
Oh,
so if I told you, look, I will never disrespect you. I'm going to use this one. I will never disrespect you in public. You will never have a time where I'm yelling or cursing at you in front of people. Not going to do it. Don't do it to me. Relationship is over if you do. But you're a hothead. And you decide to show your butt when we out around other people. See, I have a rule set inside of me that won't allow me to respond to you. Right? You're getting loud. We're at a restaurant. We're at a party. We're at whatever. And you start yelling and just getting way out of pocket on me. I can't tell you how to behave. You do what you feel is best. But my rules say I can't yell back at you. I can't curse back at you. So we are now in a situation that I no longer like. I break up with you on the spot.
But that's my deal.
On the spot.
You literally can't say, okay, pull it to the side later on where all heads are cool and everything and go, look, what you did was inappropriate. You yelled at me, you used profanity, whatever. You raised your voice at me in public, even though I've honestly told you that I would never do that to you. So from this point on, I want to remind you that please do not speak to me like that in public, the same way I will never speak to you like that in public, and we can move on.
I've already had that discussion with you before it happened, and I'm not here to raise no grown folks' children. If that's how you feel, no, I'm saying if you feel that is your right, and it is your right to conduct yourself any way you choose to, then you do that. I am not obligated to entertain it or deal with it. When you're dating, there is nothing that stops you from breaking up. I will break up with you because you ate with your mouth open, and I've done that. It does not matter. And the 2 women that I fell in love with, the 2 women that I've married, neither of them, and one, well, actually, they're both kind of hotheads. Neither of them would do that with me. So, hey, I ain't for everybody.
What did they do to make that person yell at you? Let me push back on that.
Nobody can make you do anything.
That is actually one of my things. I honestly, that is one of my things. Don't yell at me in public.
Oh yeah,
whatever it is. I would do my absolute best not to do something to the extent that you would yell at me in public, because if y'all knew my wife, but At the same time, don't yell at me in public. I would
But
never do that
nobody
to
can
you
make
at
you do
all. And
anything.
trust me, there are some things that happen, but don't do that.
And
Because
think about it.
honestly, at that point in time, you're taking away from the reasoning why you feel that way and putting the focus on yourself. And I really think that's disingenuous and that is disrespectful and that's selfish because
I
you're putting
agree.
the focus directly on you. So no.
And I think a
Don't do
qualifying piece to this has to be, I'm not talking about we're having like our, heated conversation, because I don't fight with girlfriends. That's never been me. Ain't worth it. But we're having our heated conversation and I'm pissing you off. Let's say it's my fault. I'm pissing you off, right? You still are making a decision. How are you going to elevate this? Now, if you spark, hey, you're human. You spark. I'm going to look at you and say, excuse me? Now, that's probably the most you'll get from me.
What if the person apologized?
Yeah. What if
After the spark, like when I say excuse me, you don't even have
No.
to apologize to me. If you spark at me, you'll see my face because I can't hide nothing in my face. You'll see my face. You know that you just messed
But
up.
I think what I'm go ahead.
I'm thinking at the moment the person apologized.
Yeah, like you in public, you and your woman get in a fight, and she says, "You know what? I'm so sorry." Like she cheats on you, and she says, "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I was wrong. You treat me well,
you were
and I was
wrong, and I hope you do better with your next relationship."
Okay.
What? That ain't a mistake. That was a decision. You kidding me? You kidding me? Come on. Oh man.
I want to meet the Mrs. Robinson because I want to know what type of lady she is. Even I couldn't put up with that.
She's amazing. She knows how to control me. I'm not under any illusions that she doesn't manipulate me. I think every relationship, the woman manipulates the man manipulates the woman.
What started the argument? Something happened. That is
it
not.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's what I'll say. It doesn't matter what the argument is. It always matters how you handle the
argument. Because
if you feel like you have to handle it then and there at that point. Come on, it's not worth even discussing it. If you start yelling at me in public and everything,
you have no respect for me.
Let me make it perfectly clear to you. And this has never happened to me, but I can feel it because I've talked to guys before. I've talked to women before that this has happened to it. Let me make it perfectly clear to you. If you have to sit there and yell and scream in public to get your point across, best believe the other person ain't listened to a doggone word they said. All they're sitting there is looking at your expression and your yelling and the embarrassment that they're feeling. And the only thing they're thinking about, and you heard this, so there's more people out there like this. You're thinking, on some extent, I'm going to yell and scream and embarrass you so you don't do X, Y, Z again. There are people that's going, no, I'm going to get rid of you so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Because why would I deal with you? So keep that in mind. It doesn't matter what the argument is, it's how you handle the argument.
Also, remember one of the things I said.
We don't agree on a lot of things on this show. We're not going to disrespect each other on this show, period. It's a hard line to it. It's not going to happen. Let's move that to marriage. You're in love. You married this person. Okay, that's going too far. You're not married. You're dating a person. You want to be with this person. That's who you want to be with. You took up in public and everything else. That's who you want to be with. You have no problem even being seen in public with this person.
I certainly hope not. Goodness gracious.
And then you turn around and decide.
I know I live up the street from a fire station. Why we got this conversation?
Turn around and just decide, whatever this is right here and right now, I'm going to get it off my chest. You made it selfish. You just literally made this whole situation selfish. It's all about you now. So if you feel embarrassed, I'm going to embarrass the other person. And like I said, You're thinking, I'm going to embarrass you enough so they won't do it again. And in some content, you're going to wind up with the wrong person that's going, I'm not going to have to deal with this again because I'm going to get rid of you.
But the funny thing about it, though, and this is where I struggle with getting this across because so many people don't process this way. I'm not telling you.
Hold on for a second, Thea. Susan, please explain to me the reasoning why you do that. I'm really curious.
Yeah, yelling is just not something.
Why you would want that to happen?
Well, sometimes people, that's how they grew up, and it's how they can relieve stress or the tension. And that's fine. So that's the point I'm really trying to get across to people is I do not feel that I'm entitled to your time. I do not feel that I'm entitled to your space. I do not feel that I'm entitled to your affection. And because I feel that way, guess how I feel about you? So when we're dating, this is 100% optional. So I'm not telling you to change your behavior. I'm not telling you you can't yell at people in public. I'm not telling you you can't curse at people. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm telling you you can't do it to me. So when you do it, you're exercising your freedom to do what you feel is best. And I will exercise my freedom to do what is best. There are too many women in this world for me to allow one to have me stuck in a situation where you yelling at me in public, you talking bad about me, you trying to belittle me, or forget all that. Come on, whatever. Now, marriage is different. Marriage, you're in a bond. And sometimes it gets ugly. That's marriage. That's love. That's, how I knew I wanted to marry my current wife. And our 15th anniversary is like next week. How I knew I wanted to marry my wife is because she was the first one since the first one that when you pissed me off, I didn't want to leave. That I actually wanted to work through things. I actually wanted to, all that. She was the first one. Because any other woman.
So now I'm hearing something different now.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm hearing is it's not the behavior, it's the woman.
It's absolutely the woman. It's the chemistry between me and that woman. Because I'm not saying that the women that I was with in my past were not amazing women. As I'm very, very specific about the type of women I can deal with. So the women that I've always dealt with, you'd be like, either you thought she was stuck up, you thought she was high class to Diddy, or you thought I was definitely dating outside of my weight class. Okay. But that's from outside in. On the inside of this thing, it's two people interacting with each other. And if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't,
it doesn't.
Marlon just left us on his own show.
All I gotta say is, I don't know sometimes.
Oh, I'm an interesting guy.
Sometimes it seems like a good idea to date. Other times I'm like, you know what, Tracy, you got it made.
I don't think that people.
I hear you gonna talk longer, so I had a chance to
I hear people talk about how bad it is in the singles world right now.
It's terrible.
And I can't directly relate, but where I'm curious or a little lost is for the people our age, okay, that find themselves in the dating pool.
48, never been married.
But see, that's where we're going to differ because I'm like, marriage isn't a trophy. So.
But for me, it is. I mean, me personally, that was.
Well, I can't speak to that, but if you say that that's like a personal, like that is a mark of what you have envisioned for yourself.
Yeah,
right?
I definitely envisioned that.
That's when I come back to people and I say to them, are you waiting for someone that fits you? Or are you making yourself acceptable to the type of person you want to get? Because both sides have to give. I swear, my wife, she knew early on, and she had to figure it out because it was hard for her. You can't have a loud argument with me.
Do
I
you
won't
have
play
the
along.
same rules with your male friends?
I don't consider what I'm saying to be hard, but with my male friends, I'm not in a relationship with them like that.
But you have a relationship with them.
I do.
It's just not sexual.
Right.
But
Well,
it's not
with my
intimate.
male friends, it's a different set of rules. It's man law, because I still come from an old school man law type of thing. So that's where it's basically you can date any girl I've ever dated in my past. There's only 2 women who are off limits, and that's my first wife and my current wife. That's it. Every other woman I've ever been around, dealt with, didn't deal with, whatever, ain't no such thing as, well, he just used to date her. He can't date. I can't date. Whatever. Do what you want. Also, don't ever cheat with my partner on me, because now my problem with her is she violated our relationship. My problem with you is you violated ours, and I'm gonna hurt you. So there's like different layers of that. But the kind of guys that I deal with are cut from a certain cloth. So we don't butt heads like that. And if we fall off, we fall off. Whatever. Whatever.
And Tanya said frustration sometimes does lead to yelling, but not in public. I hate yelling, and I hate you hate yelling. Tanya, stop acting like I don't know you. But I'm gonna move on. I hate yelling, and I hate being yelled at. That I agree with. You hate yelling. Anyway, but sometimes these buttons are pushed. No 2 people are alike. Marriage and relationship takes work. What I say to that is, I personally am not that type of person that go in a marriage. You don't yell at each other. That's a bunch of BS, because something's gonna piss you off when you're gonna raise your voice. Just be realistic about it. All I've ever said was stick to the subject of what you're yelling about. When you start making it personal, especially this. When I say stick to the topic of what the argument is about, I don't need you, and you don't need me to tell you what pissed you off 3 years ago. I don't remember what I did yesterday. You want me to try to remember what happened 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year? What? Come on.
Well, Marlon, here's where I'll differ. So what I was describing for the vast part of my tirade was the dating world. It's completely absolutes there. It's black and white, But if you've made it, or we've made it past dating to being engaged and or married, it's a different set of rules come into play now. Whole different set of rules come into play, because I'm obligated to you. There's an attachment here, right? So do we yell at each other sometimes? Oh, absolutely. I think we get into a drag down argument every quarter, right?
Oh yeah.
But in between that time, it's completely peaceful. But during that time, things are building. I'm irritating her. She's irritating me, right? All that stuff. And sometimes you address it. Sometimes you don't. That's part of marriage, unfortunately, right? But when she gets to yelling at me, we're married. Okay. We're going to work through this. Somehow, we're going to work through this. I don't owe that to a girlfriend.
Oh boy, Susan, you just she all up in my backyard.
I have told my kids this, so Susan, I agree with you. I've told my kids this. If you hear me yelling at you and everything, I'm frustrated, I'm irritated, I'm trying to figure it out, I'm trying to get you to listen to me and everything else. If I'm quiet, if I have a peaceful manner to me, it's because I've already figured out what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to raise my voice. I don't have to. I already figured out what I'm going to do to you. So there's no need for me to yell and scream and anything else.
Run!
I've already figured out what I'm going to do.
Yeah, so long as I'm speaking,
run.
So long as I'm arguing with you, I'm searching for answers. I'm trying to find an off route. I'm begging you for help. Either I'm flat out telling you, which I often will do, I'm telling you where I need help. Or We're arguing because I don't want to do what I think I have to do. Once I go to very calm voice, or I just don't say anything anymore, or worse yet, if you ever see a tear, what you're going to be dealing with now is the battle. No, you're not in the argument with me anymore.
No.
Yeah,
I'm only fighting with me now. And once I'm fighting with me now, you have zero input as to what comes next. So I don't like that because it's not healthy. That's
it's
me
not
shutting
a good
down.
place to be. But boy, wait.
Yeah.
Let me get mad and don't say.
When I'm raising my voice at you, I'm like Thea says, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to process everything and stuff like that. Once I'm calm, I don't figure out what it is. Why am I going to hurt my voice?
Yeah,
I know what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
You can continue to yell, knock yourself out, but I've already figured out what I'm going to do. And there is absolutely, positively, 100% nothing that you can yell, talk calmly, speak quietly, get a microphone and get on a mountaintop and yell it. It's not going to change me. And believe me, it takes a lot for me to get angry. It really does. Anything that you see me, even on this show, anything that you see me yelling and screaming about, come on. It's not first time that I've seen something and lose my mind. It build. So if I'm yelling at you about something, it was a build. When I'm calm about it, I'm sick of the build. Now it's time for me.
Yeah, I think I'm the opposite. I
No,
think I'm totally the opposite.
I am so sick of the build. So now at this point in time, now I'm going to have to do something about it.
Yeah, I see. But I know when I get angry, it's just silence. I don't say anything. If you see me getting silent on this show, it's because one of them two is talking and won't let me in with my insightful opinions, or I'm ticked off. It's one or the other.
We've been together for almost a year now. If it's not a year now, apparently we have never made you mad.
Well, a couple quick rules for me. I look at it, and a couple times I think in the comments it was made how I'm hard or unforgiving or what have you. And I do understand how it comes across that way to people, but in my worldview, a lot of times you say that or you interpret it that way because you're not approaching it from the same disciplined position that I am. So a lot of my decisions are made well in advance of the event because I don't trust my ability to navigate emotional moments, right? It's not my strong suit. So I've already made the decision of what will happen if one of certain things occur. Out of respect for you, I tell you what those things are well in advance of them ever occurring. Now, from my view, once you do those things, you will interpret it as me being cold or hard-hearted or whatever. And on my side, I interpret it as I'm keeping my word. I do understand, though, that's not how most people function. So on the other side, you might have heard me, but it didn't mean that much because nothing was happening. We were just having a conversation, right? And here we are 6 months later, and you violate one of my red lines. I'm not being mean to you. I promise you I'm not being mean to you. I'm not going to call you out your name or any of those things. I'm going to remind you what the situation was, and then I'm going to exit the situation. Because me in an emotional state can be very violent or scary. And that means that I've lost control. So when I feel I'm getting close to any situation where I'm losing control, that's not a healthy place for me to be. It's not a healthy place for you to be. So why should we be? Go
And
with
if
God.
Yeah. And he'll break your legs in 4 places.
I will never harm a woman. Because as we've talked about in other situations, I can't handle domestic violence scenarios. I can't handle them in movies. I just can't. I can't handle it. I have issues with that. So you'll never have to worry about your physical safety with me.
So that's Thea's take on relationships. That's how he feels. I'll just put this one caveat, and this is strictly towards Thea's. Can you trust a man that don't like grits?
Thank you. For real. I guess I'll
got plenty taste
put that
buds,
out there.
Yep, just something to think about.
Just something for you to think about. Let it marinate.
Yeah.
You have to answer right now.
If a man likes grits, that's between him and God. Hopefully God can forgive him. He didn't sin against me. He sinned against God.
No, I think I don't like violence against. What was that Tina Turner movie?
What's love got to do with it?
Never saw it for that same reason.
What? I've seen that movie at least 4 times.
Never saw it for that reason alone.
I've never sat through the
I
Color
do not
Purple
want to see a movie of an abusive relationship.
But she got out.
But I don't need to see any
I
of
don't
it.
need to see that.
But
I know
he
she
really
got
did
out.
that stuff to her.
That's fine. That's her story.
I grew up on it. So
And
I
she
don't have
wants to share it so that other women don't fall trap to it.
And I hope other women watch it and they learn from it. I am saying I don't need to see it. That's not how I learn. I don't have to see it firsthand to know I don't want to have any parts of it.
Exactly.
And also, why would I take that in? Like, what's
why?
the
benefit?
Why?
Yeah,
What's the difference between grits and polenta? I know what grits are.
Yeah,
Isn't
sure
polenta
do.
like South American grits?
Yeah, they're basically the same, but polenta is like wholer than grits.
I'm American.
Yeah, but I've never had polenta. I've had grits, and they're
So are South
good.
Americans, Marlon. They're Americans too.
That's South America.
Yeah.
I'm American.
Okay, Sarah Palin. Can we stop this?
All right, we're down to our last video, and then we got to get up out of here because apparently when I said, hey, we're only going to do 2 hours. Hey, I forgot who the heck was on this doggone show. So, short, sweet, dirty joke. This is for Mickey because she likes this type of stuff.
I went and saw my doctor the other day, and he told me I had to stop masturbating. And I asked him why, and he said, because I'm trying to examine you.
Oh my God, Mitchell, that's fucking disgusting. Jesus Christ. I thought we said G-rated jokes.
Yuck. It was funny though.
Ah, that's for you, Mickey. I love you. All right. I am going to play my song.
There's your retro porn music.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for the night. Tracy, tell everybody where they can find you.
TracyMediaLLC.com.
Yes.
ComplexSimpleMan.com. Please check us out.
Oh, yeah, me too. Hey, I'm there when it comes in.
Hey, you gotta love yourself before you can love anybody else. But not right before, because sometimes you're robbing the other person of being able to love them. But you know,
I absolutely have no comment.
all good things in the right time.
Timing is everything.
Absolutely.
Mafia, that is our show for tonight. I really appreciate it. Please do not forget to hit that like button on the way out. I really, really appreciate that. Most importantly, we are down to 2 weeks until the birthday bash show. So please tune in. Remember that show is at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And yes, it will literally be 2 hours. In and out. Liz, you can look all you want to. I will beat the living crap out of you because after the show, I am going to celebrate my 50th birthday. So, yeah.
And
we need
that's
to keep it under 2 hours.
Saturday to what?
Saturday the 26th. Saturday the 26th is the bash. Hopefully, I still have a very special guest coming on. And yes, all of you know who this person is. So don't even worry about that. Let's just be perfectly clear. If this person decides to still come on, you all know them. You all love them. And it will be very exciting.
Oh, you're going to have Mr. Marcus from West Coast Productions?
Ooh.
See, that's how I know y'all don't really know what y'all be on. See, that's how.
So Lindsey Graham, is he gonna be there? I'm just asking.
Oh, I forgot Lindsey. He's supposed to be on Recess, so he might be the guest.
Yup.
That'd be dope.
Lindsey Graham. Nope. Not gonna do it. Until
he got his cousin. He got his cousin.
His cousin Jim.
Jimmy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Jim is gonna be in that house. Jimmy. Yeah, I forgot all about Jimmy.
Jamie James. There you go.
Been with these people all day. The hell was I thinking? Until next time, we'll see you when we see you. Peace.